conversation with him live
Yeah.
right here on the deal.
Well, I
Call him up,
invited
put
him.
him on the speaker. Do you think he can hear me through your side?
Yeah. Well, I invited him to the live. He sent me this property over in Hard. Oh, we got to get Jr. so we can call that lady that's going into pre foreclosure here. She's 15 minutes from me.
Yeah, but that's all Spanish, and I don't have anything but cuss words in Spanish to provide to that conversation.
Yeah. Well, he was gonna hit me up later this afternoon. Um. Yeah, she's going to pre foreclosure, so I'm gonna go. I think she was looking for some kind of hair salon. My buddy owns a lot of the plazas here, so I can
The
probably
problem
help
is
her out.
she's not on title. Her husband passed away. They stopped taking payments. She thinks she's like a year behind on payments. Her payments were
Oh, great.
like $700 a month. Um, I don't know what I don't know, but I mean, she doesn't even have any say so really,
Yeah.
whether or not, she's even involved. That would be like me saying, hey, I have the right to sell Esteban's house, but I'm not on title. Like, I mean, that's like selling a bridge in San Francisco, for instance. Like, huh? So I don't know the legalities of what it is that she's purporting to do, but she has no say. The lender, she wouldn't even give us the lender's information. So what that
Yeah.
tells me is she's not looking for a solution. She's looking to stay in the house and drag her feet as long as possible. The last time Junior had a phone call with her, she basically wanted the guy to extend the auction date. What's the point of that? Do you want some money in your pocket so you can move on to your next adventure, or are we looking for magical unicorns and stuff to get this done?
I agree. I mean,
Always putting in his ear pods to block out the bullshit.
and now there's too much echo here in this little room. Okay, so I'll leave that for later. Let's
Yeah,
keep calling buyers.
you and Junior can get that.
Yeah, you can still hear me though, right?
Unfortunately, I can. Yes.
All right. So, okay. Oh, we got 5 people on the live.
Oh
We were just,
snap! It's on.
yeah, yeah.
You
So,
guys got
hey, if you guys,
questions? Jerry, what's
what's up?
up? Hi. Hello.
Yeah, if you guys have any leads for us to call, just go ahead and submit them up right there. Just scan the code.
And by leads, I
Uh,
don't want raw leads. I don't want you guys out hunting up on Zillow. Like, you've either talked to these people or what's the purpose? Like, I'm not here just for entertainment. I'm trying to get deals done. Give me the background. Give me the 411. Why is this even a deal? People
yeah,
hit me up all the time. Hey, do you think this would be a good sub to you? Oh, I don't know. Have you talked to them? No. Like, there's no magic to this. This is a contact sport. You need to contact people, period. So let me
yeah,
continue to look in here.
yeah. I agree. So, yeah, if you guys have any leads, like, don't be sending us any just like random leads. Make sure you are qualifying and disqualifying your sellers. Some may just not be in a position where they want to sell or they don't have enough pain point. So we don't want to waste your time with those, and you shouldn't either. If you go back to 2 lives before, John locked up a couple deals in the live. Looks like we are set to close on those next week. We have some lined up buyers. I just spoke one of the calls in the live. Yeah, I mean, there's really there's really no secret to it. It's just crazy how all these people are selling like horses and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like the other day, I saw somebody on the Creative Finance page. They said on the free group, they said, "Why should I buy sub two if Pace gives us all the free information here?"
Well, you shouldn't. Like, if you don't want to invest in yourself, like, hey, that's totally up to you. I'm a licensed
Yeah.
broker. I've been doing wholesale deals, et cetera, and so forth. But I'd never done a sub 2 deal. I never did a seller finance deal. So I gave Pace my credit card. Absolutely best decision. It's not even about the information. I've never even gone through the whole course that he's training and whatnot. I've never even opened that part up. All I did was listen to Pace's phone calls, took the information, learned how he handled whatever objections, and basically formulated my own game plan. But you know what the number one thing you got to do is? You got to get on the phone, Sparky. You got to call people. Like, you think this shit just magically happens? It's like I tell people all the time. When I first started playing golf, I had a bucket of balls, I had some clubs, and I went out to the range and I just absolutely sucked. And I practiced a little bit more and I still sucked. I sucked less, but I still sucked. Now, today, I'll take your lunch money. And it's the same thing that's on the telephone. I hated cold calling when I first started. Like, it's not something that's comfortable. I'm calling and interrupting whatever it is you're doing. You're going to get people to tell you to go pound sand. You're going to get people that are elderly, that are lonely, that just want to talk to you, and blah, 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 blah. You got to figure out how to let people talk, but you've also got to figure out what their solution is. I don't have a cookie cutter solution for everybody. I call up, I try to figure out what you're trying to accomplish, and then I dig into my toolbox to figure out, hey, you need a screwdriver, you need a drill, you need a hammer. Like, one tool does not fit all, period.
What's going on, Roland?
Hey, what's going on? How's it going, guys?
Pretty
What
good.
up, my man?
What's going on? Nice to meet y'all.
Likewise. Hey, Mott. So Roland here. We connected on Facebook. We're still somewhat strangers, but he has a couple leads, potential leads in Harlingen, and he had one he wanted to go over. So I don't know anything about it. So yeah, what do you got going on, Roland?
Don't share the address, whatever you do. Just like
Yeah.
If you want to put the address, just type it on the chat or message me on Facebook.
so we can see it and pull it up on our own behalf. But go ahead, Michael George.
Let me do that right now. Let me send it to you on Messenger real quick. Let's see, how do you get out? Esteban, what's your phone number? Maybe I could just message it to you.
956 382
Yeah.
4168.
4168.
And while they're doing that, guys, do not, if you've got something that you're trying to put under contract that you don't have under contract, like, do not share the address with strangers. Like, I'm not going to go steal your deal. If you want help, hey, yippee-ki-yay, but I got to know what I'm looking at. But essentially, there's a lot of knuckleheads out there, even in the communities that I'm in, that will absolutely steal your deal because people are lazy. That's why a lot of people go on the MLS to get deals, because they're right there. Allegedly, they're deals. In my opinion, any deal that's on the MLS, they're looking for full retail. And in my opinion, it's where deals go to die. I am a licensed broker, so I'm not just talking out of my ass. I've done a few of these deals, and I can tell you what a deal is, right? And I mean, let's get after it.
Yeah.
I want to close a deal. What do you guys want to do?
Yeah. So first off, my name's Rolando. Yours is Johnny, correct?
I'm John Motzenbacher, aka Motz, the man on the streets.
Heck yeah. Nice to meet you too. So listen, there's a sub 2 deal there's a potential sub 2 deal in Harlingen. There's a 2021 build, new construction. The guy wants to sell it to get in a divorce. He's behind about $14K in payments already. He owes $339 and some change.
Okay.
He's asking $344. Rate is 6.125.
Ouch.
Yeah. And his payment is about $2,300 and some change.
Does that include the taxes and insurance?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so
Which it says escrow, which I'm thinking that's the taxes and insurance.
Well, that's what they've collected. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
All
what
right.
Okay.
So 344 is what he wants. How much does he owe on it again?
339.
339. So he's basically looking to put about $5,000 in his pocket, roughly a couple of grand in his pocket.
Yeah, maybe, and that's like it's him and his wife are on it. They're going through a divorce. She's the one that basically wanted something,
Okay.
on the end of it. But like I said, they're behind 14K on payments. Would like to just catch up on the payments, take over the payments just like that. Maybe put some
What's
money in
the-
her pocket.
What's the street? Not the numerics, but the street name. Is this the one on 26 or the one on Kennedy?
No, it's. I messaged you. I text messaged you it.
Oh, you text messaged me. Okay, I'll
Yes,
send it
sir.
over to John.
Yeah.
Did you get the right number? I didn't get anything. 956-382-4168.
Yeah.
Huh. That's weird. I haven't gotten anything.
Yeah. Let me see.
Yes, we can see it. Yeah. Well, I thought you were talking
I'm
about me.
seeing if he can see it because he can just
Yeah.
put it right into there because that's us, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but I know Harlingen. I mean, Harlingen is like 20 minutes from here. 2,300 for payment.
Yeah, I don't know anything about the area. I don't care if the house is on the moon. We can put, pen to paper.
What's
But
up,
they-
Ellie Seth?
It's,
Did I say
sounds
that
like
right?
They've got a lot.
All right,
of
now it's
logs.
going your way, Esteban. I had the last two
Okay.
numbers wrong. My fault.
Gotcha.
Oh, shit.
I can see this might have texted the wrong person. This isn't correct. Who is it? Okay. Let me see. Let me pull up this address. So,
And I got
divorce
the,
situation.
bro, I got the mortgage statement. The latest.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
How'd you come across this?
Well, to be honest, he's actually like one of my neighbors, and they had been causing a bunch of ruckus over the past couple months, year.
Damn.
Yeah. So from the get go, I felt like, man, this is gonna be a good one, because he had abandoned it for a while, for months. He just came back, and I was like, man, I want to pitch it to him, but it was like I don't know if I wanted to get into a deal with him because they were having a bunch of problems and things like that. So he put it on the market on Zillow. So
Was
With
it
an
a
agent
FISBO?
by himself?
What's that?
With an agent or for sale by owner?
By owner.
Okay.
Yeah. So
So he didn't get any offers.
no, he had someone going to see it, but he was really entertaining our offer with his creative solution. So, and he wants to try to get it closed before next Friday because he's thinking about just going overseas and living over there.
Okay, well, I'll be honest with you. That's probably not realistic because we've got to open up escrow. Escrow's got to pull title, et cetera, and so forth. I don't know if you noticed, there's a few holidays in the way. Like today, nobody's open. Tomorrow, Sunday. Best case scenario, we open this thing up on Monday.
Yeah.
And then I got to figure out what the situation with the bank is because every day that goes by, there's more more equity being sucked out of this thing. And I don't even know if there's any equity in there.
No.
The bottom
It's
line
a nice
is,
house. Yeah.
he's got a problem.
Yeah.
I've got a potential solution, but it takes two to tango. So if she's going to be difficult or he's going to be difficult, like we got to get them both to play nice. And it's my experience, fuck him. Don't listen to anything he says. Fuck her. Don't listen to anything she says. Like it's just drama. I've
Yeah.
got to be a neutral third party. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm here to provide you a solution. I can help you with the solution, but I mean, I can only work with what I can work with.
Right. Right.
So, I mean, we can get on you've spoken to him. Have you spoken to her?
No, I haven't. I guess they're not really on speaking terms. They're just gonna go through their lawyers. So he said, send him the contract through his email, send it to his lawyer, and then I guess the lawyer will talk to her.
Okay. So is the lawyer representing both of them?
I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure.
Okay. So the lawyer could potentially piss on our cornflakes as well. Hey, I don't think this is a good idea, but That's when I got to get, and I'm dealing with a situation with a lawyer right now. And I
Uh-huh.
told the lawyer the other day, because this stuff absolutely pisses me off. I wouldn't walk up to fat people and ask them for diet advice. So why would I walk up to a divorce attorney and ask them anything about real estate? I've forgotten more about real estate than you've ever, like, I sold more houses last week than you probably ever even owned in your life. I am an authority on that shit. I don't give legal advice. I give real estate advice. So what is your qualification to tell me anything about real estate? Oh, that's right. You don't have any. So you gotta get everybody to play right. I am the authority. And if you don't believe that I'm an authority and I know what I'm talking about, well, we're never going to get anything done, period.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yep. So I do have his contact information. I'm in contact with him, not the wife, but I did tell him we would like to involve her. If she had any questions in this, I would like to involve all parties to make sure everything does go smoothly. So.
Yeah, I mean, let's get it together. But the bottom line is we can get everything all situated now. And then with our game plan, we can open up escrow on Monday. Will this thing close by Friday? Absolutely not. Not on the best day. It may not even close by the next Friday.
Okay.
Like there's some things that we need to do before we can even get. Does the house need any repairs?
If anything, it's only the garage door, which he said he got quoted like $600 because I think he ran to it at one time.
Okay.
Other than that, I haven't seen the inside. He says the inside's all good. One of the restrooms hasn't even been used, so it's a 4 bed, 4 bath. One of the bathrooms hasn't even been touched. So I'm assuming he got a deep clean. I haven't seen the inside, like I said. So
yeah, so there's a lot of unanswered questions, but I mean we can walk through it. Esteban, you got the address?
Yeah. Actually, Liam, let me pull it up. I see Edgar's in here. We have to connect with him. Yeah, I think he deals with assisted livings. Anyway, yeah, I got the address. Let me post it here on the chat.
Okay.
So, I mean, do you want this?
Okay.
Yeah. Do you want us to call this the seller up? I mean, I tried pulling it on Zillow, but nothing is populating for me.
Oh, snap, right? I saw that too. Here, let me try to pull this up on RPR. Hold on. You guys don't have access to RPR. That's a.
So you're in Harlingen right now?
No, I'm actually in Wyoming.
Oh,
okay.
Shit.
Yeah,
nice.
Awesome.
I work on the windmills, but I just do this shit on the side.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome. Like, are you the ones that climbs them up or like?
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, they must be paying you good. You got a nice Under Armour jacket going on there.
See, there's a severe weather storm going on, so I'm about to step outside right now. We're about to have freezing weather in the next couple of days.
Oh, really? I was just up there, like a couple weeks ago, like Casper, some just random town.
Yeah, Casper's like 40 minutes from me. I'm in Laramie.
I drove from Casper all the way down to Idaho, Oregon.
Oh shoot.
Yeah.
Dang.
Okay. So yeah, so what do you want us to do with this one? I mean, you want us to call it up, see what we can figure out, just kind of like. So, can you pull it up on Zillow on your end? Because I can't see anything.
No, there's nothing on Zillow. I've got it in RPR. I mean, this thing's probably worth $341. Based on what I can see, it could be worth anywhere from $290 to $392. Problem with Texas is it's a non-disclosure state. It's just got to make financial sense. And I mean,
I know this
is a bit of a problem. If they put this thing up on the market, they're going to have to come out of pocket, cover the closing costs, realtor fees, all of that. So that's probably not a viable solution. And they're both going to have to sign on the line that is dotted.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I explained to him also, that if anything, he's already behind payments. He's gonna probably have to come out 15, 20 grand to pay the agent. He's already in a situation. This could be a good win-win for all of us, him, his wife, and us, the buyers. So
Does this have HOA? Do you know?
No, no.
Okay. Well, I mean, I know Harlingen area pretty well. I mean, the interest rate's pretty high, but I mean that payment is right about what the rents are in the area. What is this? A 3.2 or a 4.2?
It's a 4-4.
4.4. Yeah. I mean, you could easily get 23 for it.
Yeah.
There's a major hospital there,
Right down the street.
Valley Baptist, and the other one in Harlingen. So they got a lot of travel nurses. They just upgraded from a level 2 trauma to level 1, so they can handle higher capabilities. So they've been bringing a lot of travel nurses. So this would be a good midterm rental. The only downside is that there's not a lot of investors in that area that are doing creative deals. So it might not make sense to everyone.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think it's still worth a try. This could be a good possible wrap too. I can find a wrap buyer down here for maybe like $15,000-$20,000, out of pocket. So if we can get this, negotiate the entry price within the 20s, 25s, this would make sense as a wrap. But I suppose it's just a matter of talking to the seller. So how do you want to go about here?
I mean, initially, this other builder that's in the area in that same neighborhood, he was interested in it if we could probably Airbnb it. But I started thinking about it. I kind of just want to just assign this to someone else that wants to put this on their portfolio or et cetera,
Gotcha.
So I would like to just make a fee off of this, do what you guys want to do with it, and go from there.
Yeah. No, that's cool. But I mean, in sense of like, are you cool with us calling on the live? Obviously, we won't share the address, but maybe we could see, get like a more bird's eye view and see how we can structure the deal. Because, I mean, me personally, I would probably buy this if I could get it down to like 15, 20,000. But just based off of all those fees, I don't know if it's still on market and stuff like that. It wouldn't make sense to me. But I could also help you find a buyer, right? And then we can all make money off of it. But we need to negotiate. First, we need to build a little bit better rapport, figuring out exactly what they owe, and then we can go and pencil out the numbers on the back end and see if it makes sense.
Yeah. Well, he owes $339. I mean, I can send you the mortgage balance and what he owes and all all the fees involved, so you can see that.
So,
I've already pitched to him the whole subject to deal, so we'll have to come up with the solution as to are we going to continue with that or go on with another strategy when you call him.
There is no other strategy. Subject 2 is the only thing that's going to put money in his pocket. Everything else, he's going to be coming out of pocket. If he's cool with coming out of pocket, then he doesn't need me. I've got a solution where I can potentially put money in his pocket.
Yeah.
But
and honestly, he's willing to just kind of just give it up. It's the ex that he's divorcing that kind of just wants something in the end of it. You know? But he's already telling her, like, hey, there's going to be no money coming out of this deal.
I can have the conversation with her and explain to her why my solution is better than anything that she has. And it's not like everybody out there understands what this is. Subject 2 is something, most people don't understand. People are watching TikTok videos. They're watching, YouTube, all this. They purport that they're investors. They understand this stuff. Like, I've done this stuff.
Yeah.
I keep seeing text messages here. Anyway, the bottom line is not only do we need to call him, like it seems like he's given up the ghost. He's ready to go, but we gotta go deal with the wife.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
and then I need to understand what the attorney situation is. Do they have an attorney, like singular? Like, are there 2 attorneys? Is he going in unrepresented? What's the attorney? Like, attorneys are gonna, I've got a law degree, I've passed the bar. Well, yippee-ki-yay, sunshine! You got a solution where they're not gonna have to write a check to sell this house. That's what I thought. Like, I'm an authority in this space. So,
where do you guys usually close these sub 2 deals?
Say that again.
Where do you guys usually close on these sub deals?
What do you mean close? Like, what title company?
Yeah, where?
Yeah,
where?
There's a lot of different title companies that we could use. We like Allison Tipton. She's an attorney in Texas. Use Scott Horn. use patent title. Like, there's not a lot of great solutions in Texas.
Yeah.
But Allison seems to be a good solution. You guys have some other solutions about what a better title company is? Great, but there are absolutely no cookie cutter solutions that I've dealt with in Texas. I mean,
Yeah.
I've had shitty experiences with multiple title companies. The experience that I've got with Allison Tipton, is decent. I wouldn't say that it's the end all be all. I'm not doing like one or two deals. I'm doing multiple deals in multiple states. I've got my go-to ones here in California. Texas is the wild, wild west, for lack of a better term.
Yeah. They called a couple title companies to see if they were familiar with this, but they weren't too familiar with the whole subject too.
Allison Tipton, she's an attorney. She handles the sub too. It takes a special. Do you know what type of loan this is? Is this a VA loan, commercial?
Navy Federal.
Federal. Okay, so it's a VA loan.
Okay.
And I've done multiple. We've got one right now, right, Esteban? We've got a VA.
Yeah, the one in Fernie, Texas.
Yeah, and Allison's got that as well.
Oh, okay, cool. Where is Allison located out of?
That's a good question.
I thought it's in the Austin area, no?
It might be.
Okay, cool. Not too far from him then. That's good.
Yeah, but I mean, you could do everything. Just DocuSign. You don't need to be. You could always send a mobile notary, so you could do this virtually. You can do this from the top of the windmill.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Just make sure you have the Starlink so you can get. Do you get cell service up there?
Yeah. It just depends though, like where we're at. If we're a little bit on the lower range, on the mountain, or
okay.
It just still fluctuates. So
the other day, just yesterday, my ride fell through. I had to go from
San Antonio.
Yeah, I had to go from San Antonio down to the valley, and I'd take an Uber. And this guy's never been outside of San Antonio. So when you're driving through that area where there's nothing but windmills, he's like, "Why is there so many lights?" I'm like, "Dude, those are windmills, man." It's like, it's so hot down here. We have giant fans everywhere, John.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's funny.
So
sounds fun to visit America. I wouldn't know anything about that living in the communist country of California.
Okay, so let me look up what the rents are in the area. Do you know if there's an HOA on this?
He said no.
No. The neighborhood behind us, there is, but not our neighborhood.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me look it up on AirDNA. John, do you want to give it a call and see what you can figure out?
Who am I calling?
Roland, I believe you have the seller's information, right?
Yeah.
You want to put it in the chat?
Yeah. How do you? Let me see.
And then Gabriel, we'll go ahead and answer your question. I know you had a question right after this.
Yeah, we're all good. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, perfect. Just make sure there's no background noise.
All right. Let's see here.
Oh my God! Even the Realtors Association is sending me Black Friday deals. Unbelievable.
What kind of deals are you getting?
This is for continuing education, which I'm not interested in.
Roland, so you said it's a 4-4?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
that
it's 4 for
information.
4.
We're not even privy to that.
Oh yeah, this is a newer build. You can pull it up on AirDNA, John.
That's a newer build. Yeah, I did the AirDNA. It's about like 64% occupancy throughout the year. I feel like it'd be a way much more than that because the hospital down the
Yeah.
area, and then
Yeah, let me do some math here. So 31,900.
Problem is the median home price in that city is under $200,000. So we're looking for a buyer there's less of a buyer pool there for that.
Well, I mean, to be honest, a lot of the buyers, there's a lot of, the area is predominantly Hispanics, and you have a lot of, blue collar workers, construction workers. So a lot of the people down from the valley end up being like perfect candidates for wrap buyers because they have the money. They just, the credit's not there. But I mean, this house is here in Harlingen. There's some houses in Harlingen that go in the mid 200s. I think, this is a 4.4. I mean, it's pretty big, but it might be a little overpriced. I think it would be worth like 320 at most. Does it come with any acreage here?
I think it's
It's a lot.
10,000 square foot.
it's just a little.
Yeah.
It's a cul-de-sac. I think I don't know what the total square.
No, it's 10,447 square feet is what I see. 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see. Well, it sits on a corner. It's a corner lot.
Yeah.
It's away from the frontage. Okay. How far is this from the airport? Do you know?
It's like 7 minutes down the street as
Yeah, because
well.
from
Like just
so HMC Hospital
Like 10
is like 10 minutes. Okay.
maybe the most. It's just one straight drive down on Port.
Hey, John. Yeah, I could move this as a wrap, but I mean, we have to be in like 25,000 all in entry.
Well, we got to talk to the wife before we get all gung ho about what we can and can't do. The bottom
Yeah,
line
of course.
is I have the most cost effective solution for the buyer or the seller. They just need to come to terms with that. And if they don't think that my solution is the best, well, here's what your other solution is. No matter what you do, you're going to cut a check to sell this house. In a traditional environment, this house still has to appraise. The bank is not going to loan more money than the house is worth. So you can list this house for $600,000. You can get an offer for $600,000 as soon as they send an appraiser out there. The appraiser's job is to put a realistic number on it, and whatever the appraiser says it's worth is what it's worth. Or you can go with me, and I'll get you a solution where I can put some money in your pocket potentially. And I mean, that's the end of the story. The wife is the wild card here, and they always are.
Definitely.
And the wife, if I reach out to the husband and get the story, yippee-ki-yay, I still have to reach out to the wife. And if the wife thinks I've talked to the husband and the husband has sent me, my credibility is right out the window because she's going to think I'm on his side. And I've already got a problem because I'm a man. And all men are trash. All men suck. You're a man like my ex-husband, you piece of shit. Oh, okay.
Same.
I mean, I understand the dynamics of what this is. This is not my first rodeo. Like, I totally get what's going on. But the other deal is, what other solution do you have? Do you have a more viable solution? You want money in your pocket. Oh, okay. You understand that interest rates are the way they are. The economy is the way it is. The average sales price in your neck of the woods is under $200,000. You owe more money, and there can't be all that much equity built into this thing based on it's a VA loan. They put that much money out of their pocket when they bought this house.
Yeah.
Any equity that they had in 2021, 2022, out the window when the economy started. And this is the worst time of year to try to buy or sell a house. Not really buy a house, but for sure to sell a house. We just passed Thanksgiving. Nobody wanted to move because they're going to have Thanksgiving. Nobody's going to want to move because Christmas is coming up. Then you got New Year's. The reality is, the way I look at it is the real estate sales cycle starts in the middle of February. Why is that? Because that's the earliest that people are going to be able to get their tax returns back. And that kind of starts the building of the wave in the middle of the ocean. So June, July, August, that's like the crescendo. That's when the wave's at its highest point. And then it comes crashing down on the beach in September, and less and less and less buyers are involved. Because, you know, if you got kids, a new school system is starting up, like you got to be in your next house and have those kids enrolled in the new school and all of that. And then again, October, I used to be able to just, shut it down after Halloween and take off the rest of the year. But because of the pandemic, it's kind of changed the sales cycle where everybody was trapped, in their house, and they just wanted to sell it and buy something else. You could basically throw something up on the market and it would sell. But that's not the case right now, especially when interest rates, they're closer to 7% than 8%. But they're not 2, 3, 4%. And the advantage of buying something subject to is getting a low interest rate. This does not have a low interest rate. This has a 6%, 6.125% interest rate, which is essentially high. It's twice as much than what I normally buy.
Yeah.
I mean, most wraps are going anywhere from 7 to 10, so it's just a very limited pool of buyers on the versus negotiating the numbers with the first part of the equation, all the divorce situation. So we don't even know if they're going to have numbers that are viable. And then the second option is a very limited audience for like who your end buyers are. So I think it's worth a try. Giving a call, see if what's going on. What do you think, John? You want to call?
I have no fear to call this guy. I do not care. I mean, I have a solution. What has he got?
You want to give him the number, Roland?
In the private chat.
It's in the private chat. What's the guy's name?
Yeah.
The guy's name is Jeremy. Right?
Yeah, Jeremy De Jesus.
Yep. Okay. So I'm going to call him from my Texas number.
Burner phone.
Yeah.
He's calling him from his Nokia phone.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Jim.
Can you share your Facebook link so I can see what? Yeah, of course. Let's see here.
Please leave your message.
He's probably some Black Friday shopping. So they're trying to pick up, Felix says, what would the exit strategy be with a high interest rate? Retail buyer? Pretty much, yeah. Either you can just assign the property to a homestead buyer, aka retail buyer. You could midterm rental it as long as the numbers fence a lot. What I mean by that is you're going to bring in more monthly.
I got a note here on my desk that you are trying to move this property on Helena Drive there in Harlingen, Texas. Do me a favor, give me a call back, 212-255-2587. If I do not answer, it's only because I'm on the other line, but give me a call, 210-255-2587. Hope you're having a decent day. Okay, So we've left a message. I double dialed him. No need to triple dial him. I'm sure everybody's trying to hit him with the Black Friday sales like the rest of us. There's a shitload of messages here all of a sudden.
Yeah. So yeah, I think I answered Felix's question. What would the exit strategy be with a high interest rate? Retail buyer, homestead buyer, midterm rental. I guess if you can lock up like a long-term lease with an insurance company or travel agency, it would make sense. Otherwise, if you can't keep up the payments, then you're just setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah, the exit strategy with a high interest rate, if your FICO score is a 1, I can sell you a house. You're going to have to pay way more interest. If you can get a better interest rate, then you should definitely go do that. But with my solution, I don't care about your credit. I don't care about whatever. All I care about is you got a down payment and you have the means to make the stroke on the property. That's it.
Elizabeth, I'm looking for a property, but I don't have a buyer that I want to rent, and I want to rent out the property instead. How would I go about paying the seller? Well, I mean, first, there's so many ways to answer that question. I know John will have a complete different answer than me. But for this one, I mean, you have to negotiate with the seller first, a zero money out of pocket deal. And even then, you're going to have to deal with, closing costs. You're still going to have some skin in the game. So if you don't have the money, you're either going to have to go find a private money lender or a hard money lender to give you the money to fund, the entry cost needed to get into the property. So, you are going to be some money in. You have to go find it. And depending on what market it is, you could just do, like a lease option, a rent to own, and just get your money back through the, the down payment. That would probably be the easiest way. And even then, it's pretty hard. So I would suggest JVing with somebody that, has done a couple deals, because it sounds like you still need to build some rapport with, the seller.
Nothing even matters until you get the deal under contract. So all of this mental masturbation, it's complete waste of time. Lock it up. We'll figure out what the exit strategy is. I'm the kind of guy that'll jump out of an airplane without a parachute. I'll figure out how to land on my way down. I do not overthink any of this stuff. And if you can't get it under contract, all that extra thinking, all that extra planning, for what? Get the thing under contract, figure out what the exit strategy is after you have it under contract. Yeah. Bottom line is, unless you're keeping it, there's a plethora of ways to get rid of this thing. Wrap buyer, Airbnb, pad split, blah, 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 blah.
Yep. So Roland here inside the chat, he had a question earlier. I don't know what it is, so... You got a question?
Yeah, how's it going, everybody? My name's Gabriel. I was reaching out because I had actually just locked up my first contract. It's a vacant lot here in the Modesto area. If you guys want to pull it up, it's 611 Kerr Avenue. But I basically locked it up 125, and I'm just trying to figure out an exit strategy and basically get it sold.
All right, let me ask you a couple of questions about it. Does it have power? Does it have water? You've already got sewer hooked up to it?
Yes. Everything's there because there was a pre-existing home on the land. The home is demolished, though. So there's no foundation, but everything was there previously.
Okay. And
all the
why is 125 the number? Where did you get the comps to justify the sales price?
So my brother's a general contractor locally in the area as well, and so he kind of helped me with the comps, and then also the guy that purchased it. Hold on, the guy that purchased it, he paid 115 plus. He also already did all the approvals for the city and drafted everything. So I have all the plans to the new house that's going to be built there, along with the ADU planning.
Okay, so. Walk me through it. Walk me through it. What's it going to cost to put a new house there?
So my brother said a material cost, if we were to build it with our company, it would cost probably anywhere from 150 to 175.
It'll cost you 175 to build a house?
The 150 to 175, somewhere in there.
Okay, how many square feet is that?
That's it's actually two, so it's a 1,300 square foot, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and then that's the front primary residence, and then the rear ADU is a 700 square foot, 2-bedroom, 1-bath. Both are on an open floor plan,
Okay. and
and it is a double income property once it's built. We were initially trying to find a PML to help us get the money to fund it, so that way we can build it, because it would only take us probably 6 months to build. And we'd be able to make potential profits of 200K plus, but we haven't had the opportunity or finding anybody yet. So now we're just trying to either wholesale it or figure out an exit strategy.
Okay, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of speculation there. Do you know what the comps in the area?
Yeah, so the house across the street was 1,400 square feet, and it's on the same exact lot, and that just sold for 488. And then right down around the corner, there's also another empty lot that just got listed 3 days ago for 230,000, and all it has is a cement foundation just poured last week.
Okay. But what about sold land in the area? We don't care about what it potentially could sell for. Like appraisers are not using stuff that's on the market. They're only caring about stuff that's sold. So
Yeah,
if I'm
so
hearing you, I
everything-
got 125 for the dirt.
See,
And
that's where it becomes a little bit difficult for me, because the area that it's in, everybody bought like over 40 years ago, and they're like holding on. So it's very hard to tell, because everything that's in the records is super low, and it's not correct, because they're bought these lots for 40 grand 20 years ago, 30 years ago, and in today's, that's not 40 grand with the prices in today's market.
Okay, so the seller, how soon are you supposed to close on this deal?
I actually put a 45 inspection day.
The person you're trying to
45 days.
45 days?
Yeah, and we just locked it up on Saturday. It's my first deal.
Okay.
But it's in a great area. I mean, it's not a great area. I say a great area because all the private investors are starting to come into this area. It's right behind the airport in Modesto. So, like, it's literally, you can walk out front and see the airport. And so all the investors are starting to come in there because it's kind of a rundown area, but everybody's buying those lots up and demolishing all the houses and starting to do new builds. So it's like a very, very hot area for Modesto and private investors and people like us wholesaling.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, being able to construct this house. Let's see. What'd you tell me the address was? I would. You got it locked up. 611
Kerr Avenue,
Kerr.
Modesto. Yes, Kerr Avenue, Modesto, California. Yeah, I just opened escrow on it as well. So.
Okay. So he bought it for 115, and you got it locked up for 125.
He wouldn't let it go for no less than 125 because he just played all the drafting plans, and he also actually sent me the PDFs for everything, and it's legit, like everything's done, and he already has it all approved to the city. So it's pretty much ready to be built on. I just got to figure it out.
Cost is going to be quite a bit. Oh, it's only 7,800 square feet too. Okay. Let's see here. Confirm facts.
And I also did talk to several other lots because there is also a few other lots in the area. So I did talk to a couple other owners, and the owners of 8,000 square feet or 7,500 to 8,000 square feet, they're all asking me for 140 for their lots. I have a guy that says he's got 2 lots right now. He'd sell me for 140, but he wouldn't take anything less than that. I tried. I even offered seller finance as an option once I gave them a lowball offer. For more than what they were asking, and it still didn't budge. I mean, California is kind of a hard market for seller finance. Everybody wants cash and get out of here.
Yeah, I get what they want, but I mean, if this was a viable, deal, then why didn't they just put it on the market?
He actually that's what happened was he had called his real estate agent, the guy that he had purchased the lot from last year, and he 2 days prior to me calling him. So I had just called him 2 days after, and then he was just like, "Yeah, it sounds great," and I talked him into it, and then I met him personally at the lot on Saturday, and then he agreed and signed the contract, a purchase agreement. So now I'm trying to either assign it or figure out what I need to do here.
Let's see if we've got. I mean, I'm having a hell of a time.
What I would do is I would just look at all the developers in the area, all the builders, and I would just call them up and sell them the lot.
Yeah.
Have you thought about doing that?
Yeah, I actually did that all this morning. I found one guy that was interested. He sent me his email, so I sent him all the details. He said he would get back to me tonight.
Okay, but let's walk through this. You got other guys that other owners that are trying to sell their shit for 140. You got it under contract for 125. What are you going to sell it for?
I was thinking 140. I mean, that's what I was thinking. 140, 150.
Okay.
Since
Why don't we
this one
toss
already had
this?
plans and everything approved. See, those other ones for 140, they don't have plans, no drafts, no nothing's approved. So now you got to go spend another 10, 15 grand getting everything approved.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of cost involved in this, and it's all speculation. Like you're going to have plans approved. There's going to be a lot of holding costs involved into this deal.
Everything's already approved though, so that's what's good about this lot is everything is approved by the city already. All the plans and everything.
We can toss this thing on an investor lift on our end, see if we get any bites. That's probably the best play. But yeah, I mean it's going to be very limited pool of buyers. I would just go for developer, pitch this to a developer. And then I mean the thing you got to understand too is like, obviously there's so many different angles of real estate. You have like developer sides. You have the fix and flippers. You have people who are doing bursts, short term, midterm, XYZ. So like something like that you have locked up, like typically that's not attractive to, like subject to buyers, people who are doing long term, midterms, short terms, all that stuff. So it's like very limited like pool of buyers. If that makes sense.
Yes, that does.
Let me hop in real quick. Felix, yes, when you lock up a contract, you open up escrow immediately. It doesn't matter if you have a buyer or not. You need to have the escrow in place because you got to put title and all of that stuff just to see if there's any liens or any problems with the property that you don't know. Esteban, I'm going to grab some water real quick. I'll be right back.
Sounds good. I mean that's for me. That would be the best play. Like I've done some development plays where I just wholesale it to a developer, and what I would just do is like I would look for like remodeling companies or like the builders in the area, put it up on PropStream, and then look at the zip code, and then actually let me see if I can do this now. Let me share my screen here. Okay, so what's the zip code?
95350.
95350. Okay.
Yes, Modesto.
95350. Make sure that I got no filters on this. Okay. And then you go to the filter tab. How are you pulling your buyers?
I just went on Google and put, home renovation or home builders, and then I just started calling this morning. I was just calling,
Nice.
and calling.
Okay. So if you go to PropStream, I mean, they have a free trial. I think it's like 7 days. I don't think you need a card information. There's also PropWire. Yeah, or Batch Lead. So you go to the ownership information, owner type, corporate, last sale date, go back 30 days. Numbers of property owned 3. So basically, this is going to show you all the active LLCs that have bought a property within 30 days and own at least 3 properties under their portfolio, right? So then I would see like right here, Connection Investment and Real Estate LLC, and then you can just go and put this on Google. Now this is in California, so you just put the California after. And then typically you want to go to Open Corporate. Open Corporate, it's like a Google search, but for like LLCs. It's not always at the top, or you can also go to the state corporate commission. In this case, it's California corporation. This file, search, put the name of the LLC. There we go. Connection Investment Real Estate, formed in Wyoming. So the problem is, right? Like, I mean, this person, they have a holding company based out of Wyoming, which is known for like their privacy law. So like this specific LLC might be a little hard to find. So you just got to do like some digging. Like I would go, I'd put this on LinkedIn, on Facebook. There's no name onto this LLC. There is an address. I doubt that is their personal address, but sometimes I even go as far as in skip tracing the address that's on the LLC, and then I'll kind of just reference, like I'll go to True People Search, or you can go to like Forewarn, or just.
I use Cyber Background Security Check. Have you used that one? That's the new one.
No, I haven't used it, but I heard of it. And you pretty much just pop the address and you just cross-reference. So, like, you know, if the name on the address kind of matches what's in the LLC, then I would just call them up.
Okay.
So that one's gonna be hard to find. And then also, I mean, if you go to YouTube, like Pace has a really good video. It's called "How to Find Buyers."
Okay.
It was from a previous elephant challenge. This video is like really, really good. It show you exactly like step by step, basically what I'm doing, but in more depth and better. Right. So here's another LLC right here, Redwood Holdings. This one's probably going to be under an LLC. Just, you know, I can already tell. Now each state has its own like database where you can search the LLCs, and it is free.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't understand that because I knew how to do this to find the LLCs of the cash buyers, but I just didn't understand how to skip trace it.
Yeah. So I mean, this is in California, right? It's Redwood Holdings LLC. This says it was terminated. Who knows why? But there's an address that could be their personal residence. So when you form an LLC, you're never supposed to put it under your own personal address. Most people will have a holding company, and that holding company would own the LLC. And in the LLC, they have what's called a registered agent, and it has a registered agent's address. So when someone has that corporate structure like that, it's pretty hard to find them, but there's still ways around it. It's just very time consuming. But for the most part, like this is how you do it. I would really watch that video. Let me see if I can find one for you here. Castle. This one might be easier to find. Let's see here. Just go to business search. There we go. Active. Principal address. So like I would literally, and they got an agent's name, and it matches a principal address. This looks like a personal address. So like,
Okay.
yeah, I would just pop this on PropStream. Search, see if I can get anything. Or Zillow. Hold on, why isn't it can you still see my screen?
Yeah.
I'm not sure why. Okay. Yeah, so obviously this is a personal address. So this is one of your buyers. Pretty nice house. Pretty expensive for the area. I mean, Livingston is.
Oh, Livingston. Yeah, no, Livingston's got some nice houses. They were an older community, and they just started redeveloping the whole Livingston. So it's a newer.
So,
yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely call up. I'll call them up. Diego Castillo. I mean, you could go to. Let's try True People Search.
Cyber Background's really easy. You just go on there and drop their address in, and it'll give you all their information.
Oh, well, there you go. I mean, you have that. I was just showing you. I mean, you got a freeway.
Yeah.
You have a freeway, and then you have a paid way of doing things. Obviously, the paid way is just a lot simpler. But I mean, there really is no excuses. But yeah, I mean, that's what I would do. So again, just put your put the zip code, and then go to the filter tab. You're gonna go to ownership information. Make sure it's just corporate. Last sale date. I went back 30 days. Numbers of properties owned 3. So this is going to show you all the houses that were bought under an LLC that have bought at least one property in the past 30 days. So you know they're active and own at least 3 properties, right? So we called the one on Terminal. I would write that LLC name if I were you. This Castle Assets LLC. So that's a good one. I would probably call this like after the live. And then that Redwood Holdings, I think I saw them. They've also bought the Kingsbury one. Yep. So I would really try and find their information because, I mean, they bought 2 properties in that same zip code. So this person might be your buyer for that one.
Okay. That sounds good. Yeah, no, I'm going to do that today. So I'm going to get on that and try to find some buyers. That's all I've been doing for the past 3 days, just trying to find buyers.
Cool. Well, yeah, I'll keep you posted. I'm going to reach out to some of my developer buddies, see if, they have any interest. But I would not sleep on that. I would call that Castle Assets LLC and the Redwood Holdings, figure out the information, give them a call. They might be your buyer right there.
Yeah, so how does that work? Like, I know I hear Pace and all them always talk about no credit loans, HML, PML. How does that work? Because, like, if me and my brother were trying to get the loan to actually purchase, acquire, and build this property out, who can I contact or how can I reach out to people about that?
So, I mean, that's a good question, right? So what you got to understand is there's so many different, like, forms of real estate, right? Like, you have people who are doing the burst strategy. So they're buying a house at a significant discount. They're rehabbing it, right? So they borrow the money through the hard money or private money lender, and then they refinance and then they rent out the property, right? So those people have a certain strategy. They look for certain numbers and whatnot. So like on the creative finance side, right? Typically, most buyers, investors like creative finance because you can get into a property little to no money out of pocket, right? So typically, private money lenders will lend, they'll lend anywhere from 12 to like 15, 20%. It just depends. Anyone can be a private money lender. I would just reach out to hard money lenders or developers. That's probably your best play because 300 is a pretty large sum of money. Like if I had 300,000, I could probably buy like 30 properties. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like our average entry fees and the average entry fees that I'm seeing on the creative side is anywhere from like $15,000 to like $50,000, right?
Yeah, I see that often.
Yeah, so like let's just say I was a lender and I had exactly $300K. I would rather tie up my money in 5-6 different deals and diversify my portfolio. It's going to cash flow me opposed to just having money tied into that one deal. So like you also have to understand that a lot of people work based off of percentages. Obviously, a fix and flipper needs to get the house at a discount to where he can still repair the property and then rehab it, list it on the market, and still have a significant spread in case things go south for him to still make money, right? So you got to have the same thing on your end, like with that property. I don't know that market, so I don't want to give you like false numbers. I know every market's different. Like in San Diego, we have people paying an ARV. They're going like 92, 93%. You know what I mean? That's pretty much unheard of in any market. Like down in Texas, it's like 60%. So, I would go to Facebook groups and definitely if you don't have like your offer, like already to percent, you're not going to get any good feedback. If you're making posts on Facebook like, hey guys, I need a PML, contact me, or PMLs contact me, hard money lenders contact me, everyone's going to think like you're some kind of scam. Like no one's going to want to reach out to you. But if you're more particularly say, hey, looking for, 300K down, 300K private money for, 8 months, I'm offering 15% return, first lien position.
My name is John. You reached out to us on Investor Lift about a property on Fall.
So you got to have like all those ducks in a row. You know what I mean? So if you don't have like the numbers penciled out, it's going to be pretty hard to find a buyer.
Yeah, we're doing that today. We're actually doing that today. We're having all of our guys go out there and give us estimates for everything so that we can be able to have those numbers. Because
Yeah,
that's what everybody's asking for. The numbers, the
I mean,
numbers. So.
if you come back with the numbers to me, I'll help you. I can help you kind of structure it and how to find a lender. But yeah, like without no numbers, it's gonna be hard to pitch out something. I have nothing to pitch.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. 100%. Yeah, as soon as I get the numbers back, probably in a couple of days here, then I'll be able to send those over to you as well.
Yeah, you just give me a call, text me. I'm gonna send you my number on the messenger.
I'll send you my digital business card, and you can have all my information. And shoot me a text or call whenever you got time.
Yeah, sounds good, brother.
All right, thank you guys. I appreciate it. It was great talking with you guys.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good one. Later, bro.
No problem.
Bye-bye. I think John is calling some buyers. I'm looking right now at a property and they want 100,000. I got them down to 85 and told them I need to talk to my partner and get the agreement sent over. And with my closing costs, I'd be right about 87-ish, and my buyer wants it for 100. So I'd be right at 10 G's, but do I even need to worry about ARVs if I'm not buying it and just flipping it? Hopefully that makes sense. Someone asked me this, but I wasn't sure what to respond. Okay, I gotta reread that. So they want 100,000, and they got the price down to 85. The person that wants to buy said they need to talk to the partner to get the agreement over, and my buyer wants it for 100, so it'd be right at 10 G's. Okay, so I mean, I would first and foremost make sure that this person is a real buyer. Basically ARV is an after repair value, right? So, when you're selling a house or buying a house, you have to make sure you comp it so you know what the property is worth. You do that by looking in the area for similar properties that have sold, that have similar features, the same bed bath count, all that stuff. So one part of the equation is figuring out what that is worth, right? Now, obviously, if it's a newer build, like a 2022, 2023, and it doesn't need any repairs, pretty much, you're going to have to comp it, and that's going to be what the property is worth. Now, if it's a beater, like let's say it's like this property, it's worth 100,000 fully renovated, but it needs 50,000 repairs, then yes, you do need to have it locked in at a certain percentage, because the person you're selling it to, your end buyer, needs to have a spread so that they can make money, right? And that's going to depend if they're a fix and flipper, or they're doing some kind of burr, basically. But if you have a buyer willing to pay 100, make sure you vet them. Make sure they're an actual buyer. They're not just daisy chaining. It's not just another wholesaler saying, "Hey, I'll give you 100K for the property." Have them put in a $5,000 non-refundable earnest money deposit if that's the case. And if they do, that's how you know they're serious.
Hmm.
So, do you doing real estate part-time, Roland?
Yeah, just on the side after work and stuff, and then downtime when I'm at work.
Nice. What does that look like? Like, do you drive for dollars? Are you in other groups, or how are you getting addresses?
So like in the area of Harlingen, like I know the area pretty well because I was born and raised there too. I'll have someone go out and give me a list, or some buyers will send me some vacant lots to try to look up the owner for them too. Driving around when I'm actually in the area, looking on Facebook Market, Craigslist.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was born and raised in Brownsville, Texas.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, I was born and raised there in Harlingen.
What part of Harlingen? You know me asking what
Right in the Combs area.
Oh, okay.
Like that 508 area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Do you ever use Privy for comping? What is your preferred method for comping? I like Privy because it's pretty user friendly. It's got all the nice colors and stuff. It doesn't always work, especially for non-disclosure states. Sometimes it won't, pull up on Privy or Zillow or even PropStream. So for the most part, Privy is my go-to for comping. I think it's a little pricey. It's like 90 some dollars. Obviously, you have time or you have money. Do I think it's worth the $90? No, I'd probably pay like 60, but I don't mind spending the $90. Um, you can also use there's Prop Paleo, Prop Wire, Prop Stream, Batch Leads, and then the good old Zillow. You can find comps on Zillow. It's a little more tedious, but basically, yeah, I'll show you real quick. If you go to Zillow and you type in, Zillow right here, you would put your address. So let's say it was this address that you're looking for. Let me get this address. Now, sometimes I use Zillow as like my go-to. Like I always reference to it first. So whenever I'm comping a property, I always go to Zillow and I just like to look at the Zestimate and then the pricing history. So I'm gonna run you through that real quick. So like let's say I was trying to comp this. All right, I always look at the asking price and then I look at the Zestimate. So usually, from my experience, whenever the asking price is more than the Zestimate, it's overpriced. And then I like to look at the views to saves ratio. When it has a lot of views, very little saves, it usually means that the property is probably overpriced. So, and then I go down. I like to look at the pricing history. It will tell you a lot about the history of the property. Like I saw this one address where they bought it. For a year later, they tried to sell it for a certain price. It didn't sell. Then they reduced it, took it off market, relisted it for a higher price, and then they ended up renting it out. Turns out that the seller, I think they were living in Nevada and they were just paying rent and they couldn't afford it anymore. But yeah, make sure you look at the history. So going back to your question, Privy is my go-to for comps. Zillow is my go-to for just the overall bird's eye view of the property. I don't like to comp on PropStream. It's got a lot of, I don't know, it just looks very outdated. Let me close that out.
Hey,
Like,
Esteban,
guys-
you want
What's up, brother?
hey, you wanna talk about this the 1206 one that we had in Harlingen?
Yeah, let's do it. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
I'll answer your question right now, Elisa. I hope I said that right. Okay. Let me pull it up. I think I have the address here. You sent it on Messenger.
I believe so. Yeah, should be.
Okay, give me 1 second. I'm gonna lower this music. You said, is this the one on Kennedy or 26?
26. Yeah.
Okay. Let me make sure my screen is not sharing. Okay. So 1206. There we go. Off market?
Yep.
Okay. So
Yeah, I've been following up with him for about 3 months already.
let me pull it up because unless I'm missing something on the message you sent me, it says mortgage is $620,000.
No,
Like,
it was 680.
Look, open your messenger. I'm gonna react to it so you see which message I'm referencing to, because I don't know any houses in Harlingen for that price. Let me see this thing here. While you're pulling that up, if you give an address, are you guys able to figure out something with the agent? This goes from my other question regarding how to pay the seller if I want to rent out the property. Yeah, I'll call the agent for you. I've seen the property and the property is going to foreclosure due to the owner's drug use. Yeah. Give me the number and I'll call. I'm not sure what happened to Roland there. There he is.
Yeah, it logged me out when I had to go into the messenger. But so now I seen that was roughly the but the payment monthly.
Oh, okay. You cut off. So what's the mortgage balance on this?
80,000.
Oh, okay. So it's not because it says mortgage 620. Yeah, I'm a little scared there. Okay, so mortgage is
No,
80,000. What are they
yeah.
asking for it?
So he's wanting to get as is. He's asking to trying to get like 120. Um, he's had a couple of realtors go by, but it's still off market. But he's had a couple of realtors go by because they're trying to get the most out of it. Because they want to split the profit between two of the brothers. There's three brothers, but one of the brothers is going to give the profit to the other two that really need it. Um, so he was entertaining this whole subject to thing. So they want to try to get as much money as they can, walking out, for each of their brothers. But
So
it is a
was
fixer
this
upper.
okay?
This is
So
a
it's
fixer
okay.
upper though.
So
Yeah.
it's like a probate or something, or why is there a couple brothers involved?
Well, I think only one of them is on the trust, but he wants nothing to
Oh,
do with it because he has his he has his own, I guess, stuff going on, and his other brothers are the ones that really need the money, so he's gonna just give it to them.
okay.
Yeah.
So they're
Yo,
asking 120. How much does it need in work?
uh, I want to. Well, the roof already got done recently, so it has a new roof.
Okay.
The inside needs a new flooring. I would say almost like a minor rehab to almost like a complete on the inside. Depending on your style.
Gotcha.
But I would say in today's market, from anywhere from 30 to 50, I would assume. Depending what kind of how you like your home. Everybody's
So you
different.
say about 30 to 50,000 in repairs.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I had one buyer that went by to see it that I had already wholesaled a home to like half a mile down the street on Monroe, and he was already telling me he was looking about 40-50,000 in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I like the area. It's really close to the college.
Mm-hmm. I used to live down the street as well in some new apartments that, like, kind of right back there. There were some new apartments like
Yeah.
3 years ago.
The thing though is, let's see here. Well, how big is the property?
Like 1,800 square foot.
Oh, okay. That's
No, it's a big 2-story home. Yeah, it's a 2-story house.
how many bed bath count?
Shoot, I can't remember when I walked it. I think it was a 3-2.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was a
Yeah, it
3-2.
sounds about. It's got to be a 3-2 or a 4-2.
Yeah, I think it was a 3-2, but I think it could have been converted into a 4-2 with one of the rooms.
Okay. So I mean, if they're asking one, I mean, so first and foremost, let's say this thing. Let me comp this thing. Let's see if I can even pull it up on Privy. What will you say this house is worth?
As is, I mean, the way it says as a cash buy, I mean, I think from anywhere from 90 to I have a cash buyer right now that's still willing to buy it at 105 the most with my fee on top of that. And he's a builder in that same subdivision that we're doing trying to do the other subject 2 on, the 21 build.
Okay. So
Mhm.
they owe 105 and they owe 80. So that, I mean, that's is it one? So they're willing to pay 105, like all in closing costs, all that stuff.
Yeah, cash. Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, that's a tight spread. I mean, and they're asking. I mean, the best case scenario, 120,000 minus, let's say, 12%, 105 minus 80,000. So I mean, they're looking to make like $15,000 to $20,000 if they do get their asking price.
Yeah.
And the thing with that is, so like going back to how I said, like having your buyers lined up. Obviously, like you have buyers, but like if you had something like in Houston, like with a thinner margin like this, it might make more sense because there's bigger pockets and hedge funds and all that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Harlingen doesn't have any hedge funds. I think it would be a perfect subject too. I would probably just negotiate like $20,000 in the seller's pocket,
Yeah.
close of escrow, and then just take over the mortgage. And then you could just structure it as a land contract. So it's basically like a novation. You can either bring the money yourself, a contractor, or you could wholesale it to the guy that's willing to pay 105 and say, hey, look, you're willing to pay 105. I got this for you for $20,000 out of pocket. Repairs are $50K. So now he's $70,000 all in. You can just throw your assignment fee and have him, just wholesale it to him, and then he just flips it on the market and he makes a bigger spread. Other than that, like for me, it wouldn't make sense for me to buy because, I have to obviously come in with the down payment to the seller plus the 50, 60K and repairs. And I'm not a fix and flipper. I want stuff that needs like little to no repairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I mean, you should tell them. You're like, look, best case scenario, you're like $15,000-$20,000, and you are gonna have to deal with, it's a lot of tire kickers, agents, realtor commission fees, all that stuff. I was like, if you want a dependable offer, I have someone willing to go. I can close on this, your time frame, $15,000 in your pocket. I'll take over the mortgage payment, and then, once you can tell them once we sell the property, then we can give you a little extra.
Yeah.
That's not
Yeah.
structure. Otherwise, I mean, I don't see him getting.
Yeah, and that's what I've told him too, because he hasn't seen the house. He doesn't live in the valley. He lives in Houston. Only one of the brothers was living there. Now he just moved out because they're gonna, I guess, try to paint it, maybe deep clean it. They've already had 3 agents go in to give 3 different opinions. I mean, on what they think. So he's kind of like, I don't even know who to believe, who to go with. So he's gonna call me back either maybe today, maybe Monday, see if what he wants to do. Instead of wasting time dealing with the agent, paying their fees. So,
I would definitely say just wait till he calls you back, and then once you figure out what he's trying to do, because I mean, like, it doesn't sound that like motivated. Like otherwise he would have just listed on the market and just like let this thing go. So like have him call you back today or tomorrow. I would probably follow up with him probably tomorrow first thing in the morning, so you can get him on the phone, get the story, and then bring the lead to us, and we'll call it. We can negotiate an entry cost, to like $20,000, and I have a buyer lined up for this. Ruben Hernandez.
Okay.
He's my go-to buyer. Anything in McAllen, Farr, Bronzeville, Harlingen. I've wholesaled like over 30 properties to him just down here, and good friend of mine.
All right, I'm going to answer Felix's question if I can hop in here real quick. When you're calling on market low equity listings, how do you overcome the listing agent? Well, one of the first things out of their mouth is, I get 50 calls a day offering sub 2. My client wouldn't be interested. What would your next step be? Well, what makes you say that? I flat out, I'll ask the agent, well, what makes you say that? Why would this seems like a perfect solution? I mean, if I'm running the math and the math is right, they're going to have to cut a check to sell this house. How is that a better solution than what I'm purporting?
Mm-hmm.
I lean into that, but a lot of agents, hey, is this a sub 2 deal or seller finance? Because we're not interested. Oh, wow, you getting a lot of those? It's like they did a seminar or something and everybody's calling about it, huh? I lean right into it. And then I have the conversation. Well, I mean, have you had any offers? It's been on the market X amount of days. Have you had any offers at all? Where are they coming in at? And then basically just do that. But, okay, so if they're not interested in sub 2 and a cash offer won't work for them, because if I'm going to give you a cash offer, I got to have a cash price. Like, what's the next solution? Should I just wait? Because you selling the house is adding more fees that's coming out of their pocket, right? Should I just wait until the listing expires? I mean, I just basically lean right into the agent. That's the answer to that, Felix. All right, nobody's called back yet. It's Black Friday. Nobody cares. Ben is asking in the WhatsApp chat, do we need any buyers or anything? We've already got Dale's house situated. Esteban? He might have me. Well, I mean, I'm a licensed broker, so that's kind of an ethics violation, Felix, for me to go around the agent. If you're not licensed, you could absolutely go around the agent. Hey, I'm trying to present an offer. Your agent said you're not interested in a creative solution. Like, what do they know about it? 9 times out of 10, maybe even 10 out of 10 times, an agent has never done a sub-2 deal. They only understand what I like to call missionary position real estate, right? Buy, sell, like there's no in between. They don't have the skill set. So a lot of times I will try to get the agent to get me on the phone with the seller because whatever objections, et cetera, and so forth, the agent's not going to know how to solve that problem. So wouldn't it be a better solution if I'm just on the phone and I can answer whatever, unless you've done a bunch of these sub-2 deals, and they'll tell me, no, I haven't done a bunch of these sub-2 deals, but I'll get on the phone directly with the seller at that point with the agent on board. I'm not trying to do anything but solve the seller's problem. I'm solving the agent's problem too, because they don't have a solution. Otherwise we wouldn't be on the phone right now. So, my problem is I've done a bunch of these deals. I am an authority in this space. And I mean, not to sound arrogant, but I've forgotten more about real estate than most of these agents understand. I can't come at them like that. I'm simply trying to offer a solution. What happens if the house doesn't sell? What happens if the house expires? I'm the only solution where they don't have to write a check. I'm trying to check our investor lift. I'm looking for buyers.
So this is what Mike said. The one interested in Dale's property, if he can do just a contract for deed, also known as a land contract in Texas, they can keep that the VA status on there, the tax exemption.
Well, then we're going to have to redo our paperwork with the attorney, which is going to slow down the process. We're not going to be able to close as fast. This guy's shut off his power on the 4th of December. So,
I mean, do you want to? I can put you on a 3-way. We can broadcast it on the live. Have you negotiate.
Well, I mean, I don't care one way or another. I've got a solution, and
so I mean that's all we have right now. I can close on it. I can get my lender to close on this. We can just hold it. It'll be a good wrap. So, I have the funds to take it down.
The problem is, like, I don't ever capitulate. Either what I want to do and the solution I have in place works for you, or it doesn't. So when you start grinding me on my assignment fee, when you start, pissing and moaning about this, like, okay, this doesn't sound like a good fit. Next.
Yeah. Okay.
But this is a tax write-off play. Yes, you could absolutely close on it like you want to close on it. And I mean, you could sell it to this guy on a land contract and do all of that, except for it's going to be in your name. And that's going to defeat the purpose of what he's trying to. But basically, he's trying to fraudulently, I don't mess with the IRS. All right. So if the IRS wants their taxes, like, it is what it is. And then the number one play with this deal is this would be a tax write-off. So
tax write-off or wrap.
He would eliminate that because he would not have this property in his name.
Yeah, because I mean, if you wrap it, you're just selling it to a homestead.
I would just pull back. Hey, man, I get it. This probably is not a good fit for you.
Okay.
Kind of like those commercials with the fisherman. Oh, you almost had it.
Hey, check this out. Check this out.
The fruit of God, Jesus Christ. I love you, God. A true
This guy's hilarious. Is this what we got
Another
flagged on?
off of YouTube for broadcasting that. They sent me a warning last week, so I probably will get another one here shortly.
For that one? No, I think it was for that movie.
No, it's for that. It was that song.
Oh.
Because it was.
I don't understand, yeah.
The title of the thing was Pop and Lock Scripture.
Well, it's weird because I mean this streaming platform, right? I pay for I have copyrights to it, and it comes with music like elevator music and stuff, like as you could hear.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever I live stream, Facebook gives me like a warning, and I just dispute it. So yeah, I'm gonna reach out to Mike. Other than that, let's see what else. I mean, I'm still waiting to hear back from Deborah. I haven't heard from her.
The agent on that one.
Yeah, and we called the seller too. No, we didn't hear anything from the seller. I got one in Fredericksburg right now. We're trying to dispo. Let me post it on the chat, actually. Jesus Christ. And where are you from, Felix? You look like you're in New Jersey or something. Let's see here. Jesus Christ. Hey, let's see if that calculator is actually working. I'm gonna show everybody that the staggering 5 people on the live. All right. So this is the calculator I'm going to be releasing probably tomorrow. There's a disclaimer here. Just close out of that. And it's just basically, I'm not going to show you guys how to use it here, but it's just basically a creative finance calculator. And then you're able to basically capture. So when you're underwriting a deal, you fill out all the pertinent information. And then if you want to send this out to somebody, you just tap right here. You put their name. Let me put John. 559houses@gmail.com. And basically it just logs it over here, tells you who it sent it to. So it sent to John. Hey John, you want to open up that email, see what it looks like?
Yeah, I got it right here.
Can you show it on the camera so people can see what that looks like, the email?
That?
Just open your email.
Yeah, hold on.
I sent you an email.
Entire screen. Okay, let's see here. Share here. Can you see that?
Yeah, I could see it. So basically, it just gives you the address, the entry cost, entry fee, cash on cash return. It breaks down the entry cost, property highlights, as well as the loan details. So it just takes the information and also turns it into a PDF. I might just get rid of the PDF feature because you have to zoom into it. But yeah, it's basically what it does. And then on phone too, you'll see what that looks like. So let me share my screen here. Let me
unshare me. Hold on.
Yeah, this is what it looks like on the phone. So it gives you the address, entry cost breakdown, gives you the entry fee, cash on cash. There's pictures for Zillow to view pictures if you have it in a contract. Just a nice looking email overall. So whenever you're underwriting a property and you want to send it out to buyers or your buddy or whatever, you just type send email, you put their email addresses, and then you can send it to multiple people. So pretty cool little calculator. It's got a lot of features coming too. It's free $99. So I'm going to be sending that over probably tomorrow. I'm just trying to set up the the email for it. But I mean, that's that. So what are we doing here? Did you get that property on Fredericksburg?
I don't even know what that one is.
Okay. I don't know what's going on here.
Huntington Woods Circle.
Yeah.
Okay, what about that one?
No, the one on Investor Lift.
Yeah,
Okay. Any feedback on that?
nobody's responded at all. I've called whoever I've called. Nobody's returned any phone calls. But
Yeah, I had one of my VAs call too. Eric's on it as well. Nobody's picking up, man.
no,
It's a Friday. So, Elizabeth, are you still on here, Elizabeth? You wanna hop in here with John Mottenberg? Can't wait to leave the city. Chicago. Yeah, Chicago's nice. I was just there last year around this time. It was pretty hot. So I only went on live just to give a brief announcement. Then John jumped in here. So if you guys have any leads, any questions, like literally anything, otherwise I'm gonna cut this. We're trying to dispose some properties. We were calling buyers, but nobody's answering their phone. Colleen. I'm just on Facebook. Okay. RC. What is up, my dude? On YouTube. What is up?
no new leads have come in. I'm trying to answer whatever I'm answering on this. This guy's like, I'm a buyer, cash, or creative. If you're direct to seller or direct to agent, send me a DM. Let me know what you got. Well, like, what the fuck does that mean? You're looking at it.
Hi, I'm from Chicago. We got 3 people in Chicago. I can send you the address here. State is Wisconsin. Wisconsin. Wisconsin reminds me of T. Do you know who T-Pain is, John?
Who?
T-Pain.
Yeah.
You heard that song when it says, I can put you in a log or in a mansion?
Negative Ranger.
All the way in Wisconsin? Okay, I spoke to the front neighbor again briefly. He let me know there has been dogs gaining access to the property through the gate, and he said that there was lots of trash. He said he would call animal patrol when he saw them again. Yeah, send me the address, Elizabeth. Send me some leads to call. Send us some leads. I'm going to take a, let's see here. Send us some leads. I'm going to take a quick 1-minute break. Don't you just love that thing? It sounds like we're in church.
Dearly beloved.
And now, Pastor John.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we had someone scan the code. Why is my let's see here. I was trying to fix my camera. Hopefully it's not all jacked. There we go. Over here chilling in Sunset Cliffs, California, virtually. I'm repping the Chicago shirt, actually. So let's see. Somebody sent us a lead. Let me take a look at it and see what we got. I don't have agent's number. I scanned the code but couldn't fill out the required form. Okay. So let me see. This on Zillow. Let's see. Is something wrong with my form? 19, 11. Let me test out the form. Sweet Peace in Wisconsin. Oh, Roland is back. 1911 Charles Street. Charles Street. Grayson.
Sorry, guys, I have to take a call.
That's not good, bro.
Yeah, I sent you a text of a possible lead. This lady has 10 acres. That's just 5 in the front though, and there's 4 in the back. You have to look it up on that Cameron County CAD.
Mm-hmm.
But she's willing to sell the property. She's willing to hear an offer. Willing, maybe owner finance. It's 10 acres. There's 9, 5 in the front. Then there's a railroad, 4 right after, and then off to the side there's a 1.
Okay.
Right on Wilson. It's a good area, a growing area in Harlingen.
Yeah, well, I know where Wilson Road is.
Yeah, and there's a
What's
property
it
next
zoned
to
for?
it. What's that?
What's it zoned for?
It says it's zoned. Let me see. I have to pull it up on my on the CAD if I can.
There we go. Let's see. I got a ton of messages on the Discord. Yeah, hey, if you guys, whoever is watching, just scan the form up there. Submit your leads, and we'll call them live. I'll go ahead and take a look at that lead here in a second, Alyssa. Give me a second here. If I could find my messages, that'd be great. Roland keeps popping in and out. So we got one and sent in. So what's the deal with this one, Elizabeth? So 6-bed, 2-bath in Wyoming. I've never heard of that city. Let me check what the population is. So
I think it's in Wisconsin.
For wholesaling, John, in terms of population.
Is this the one on Charles?
No, this is something else. This is one on Racine, Wisconsin. I don't think you got the address just yet.
Yeah, she put it on the Facebook page.
Oh, yeah, Charles, yeah.
I don't see that it's on market though.
Yeah, I see it here. It's here. Let me share the link.
Oh, for
Or
sale on Realtor, but not on
yeah, I
Zillow.
mean yeah. I just sent you the link on the chat. It's a 6-bed, 2-bath, 2,100 square feet. It's a multi-family.
Well, why doesn't it come up for me as for sale? Super weird. Here, I'm going to send it back to you.
I think. I mean, this would be a good Section 8 play. I have some Section 8 buyers.
Look in the chat, and you'll see that I got the same thing, but it doesn't show that it's for sale.
Okay.
Property.
But did you click on my link?
Yeah, I see yours works, but
Oh man, it must be the Russian Taliban's. They must have like
it could
restricted your IP or something.
He had a good Thanksgiving. Let's see.
Okay.
All right. So how long has it been on the market? How long it's been on the market?
Yeah, so it's been on market for. It doesn't show. It shows the listing was updated November 1st at 3:44 a.m. So, let's go 3 beds, 1 full bath each unit. Property zone B2, which could possibly permit business use desired. Frontage of lot is on Charles Street. Rear of lot reaches Carter Street. 2-car detached garage. Huge fenced yard. Each unit pays their own gas and electric, sewer, and water paid by the landlord. Roof shingles, replacement windows, nice electric breakers installed. Lower tenant is month to month. Upper is vacant. Home is an estate and being sold as is with no warranties or representation.
It's an estate sale?
Yep. Have you ever done any estate sales?
Well, yeah, but I mean, you're going to have attorneys involved. This isn't something that you're going to be able to.
Move right away.
And this thing, there you have a notice of foreclosure sale. 8/8/23 and 9/19. How much are they asking for this thing? 189.
Yeah.
Based on what?
I don't know. I'm trying to look at the screenshot you sent me, Roland, but for some reason it comes back blurry. I can't see the little box on the screenshot.
Uh-huh.
I can't see that. I don't know if it's because I'm on Wi-Fi.
I'm glad that she wrote in this description that new electric breakers were installed like 10 years ago. Fucking 2014.
You should give her a call.
I don't see her phone number on here. That's part of the problem with that.
I'll give it to you. Listed by Anna Durango. Django. I wonder if she's related to the movie Django.
I doubt it. She doesn't seem that cool.
Let me what city is this? Yeah, there's no number. Oh, I see. I mean that's why it's like it's got no number on there. Durango. Let me see.
Here, let me see. I can just Google the thing. Here's the agent thing, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, it's right here. The number is...
Okay. The 262, I got it.
Yeah.
I'm going to call her from my Texas number. Hang on there, reckon. Reckon you got you a property there. This is going to be the office number, and the odds of them being in the office are slim and none, but let's see.
Hey, Esteban, check your message to see if you can see it more clear now, that box.
Yeah, I got it.
That's the front 5.
Please leave your message for 262-989-6520.
Hey, Anna, my name is John. Trying to make heads or tails of a property I see on Charles Street there in Wisconsin. Could you give me a call either today or Monday is fine, 210-255-2587. Again, my name is John. I am interested, curious about the month-to-month tenant. Well, I'll break it down for you when you give me a call back. Okay, so we left her a message. I don't expect her to be working. Maybe she calls back.
Yeah. So what's the deal with that one you just sent me, Roland?
The lady has 10 acres. There's the 5 right there, and then right in back of it, there's a railroad that runs through it, and then there's the other 4 right there. And then there's one like off to the side. Once you pull it on CAD, you'll see it. She's interested in selling.
I think it pops up on Zillow, but with the number 0 in front of it.
I'm not too sure. It'll look like it'll have like some brick, like a brick kind of wallish.
It's not here. Let me send you the address. Do I have a TC recommend that I've worked with? Johnson Nguyen is pretty good. Jennifer Cortez. I really like her. She's the owner of Finish Line TC Services. They got a lot of top tier TCs on there. Have you used anyone, John? Or
I mean, you can reach out to Caleb Christopher's creativetc.io. That's one. But I mean, the thing that pisses me off the most about TCs lately, they don't want to fill out the contract. What the hell am I hiring you to do? Like, I need you to fill out the contract. Like, there's no reason for me to pay you $1,000, $2,000, whatever it is, for you to babysit some emails going back and forth. Like, I don't get it. But yeah, I would do that. CreativeTC.io or Jennifer Cortez. Now they're working with students outside of Sub 2, Esteban?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so they are working with students outside of Sub 2. I don't know their pricing. I also don't have a referral code or anything like that, so I don't make anything off of it if I refer you guys. But I know Finish Line, really good. I've personally never used Caleb Christopher, but a lot of my buddies in Sub 2 have, and I have heard nothing but good things. Love Francis as well.
There you go.
I haven't dealt with her, but I've heard nothing but good things. You can find her on Facebook. I think for Finish Line, it's Finish Line TC Services. And then my buddy Ryan Comerford, I'm actually working on his website. It's not up and running just yet, but he has 2 top tier TCs on his team. Let's see here. Okay. Do you mind explaining the zone you mentioned? What do you mean by that? I'm not too sure what you mean. So what's up with this 16623 Wilson Road? It's not populating.
The one that you had sent me had got bought out by some other people that I have known. I sent those 9 acres to them, but I guess they had already got acquired a lot of land, so they were good for the year. They're big subdividers.
Gotcha. Do you know if this is zone for commercial or residential, agricultural?
It says residential.
There's like some apartments next to. Oh, you know what? Hold on.
If you're looking straight at it, like in the front, there's a home right to the right of it, and then next to that home on the right of that, there's a subdivision too. And then there's
Yeah,
If you just
I
keep on
was.
going
I
down,
almost.
there's
I think if I'm not mistaken, that multifamily on the left. I almost locked it up on a contract last year. If
oh,
I'm not,
okay, yeah.
I'm not mistaken, this is so. So this is off. What are they asking for on this?
I never gave her a price. I was about to start doing like comps and stuff in the area, but she was willing to hear a price and possibly owner finance terms as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've never. I don't really deal with land, so I'm not really qualified to speak on land. John, have you ever done any land deals?
Yeah, absolutely. It just kind of depends on what it's zoned for. So it's got to have power, water, sewer, all that kind of stuff. You know, there's a certain price for that. There's a certain price. I mean, there's a lot of cost involved. You got to divide this parcel up. What can you divide the parcel up to? There's like, you got to figure out what it's zoned for. So most of the properties that are going to be, you know, on the outskirts of town or something like that are going to be ag. They're going to be zoned for ag. Whether or not you're doing ag on that is irrelevant. Why are they zoned for ag? Because that is the cheapest tax that you'll pay on the dirt. Once you get it developed, you get some plans, you zone it for residential or commercial. That's
Mhm.
when that's what some real cost, you know, as far as taxes, you're going to be paying, you know, 10, 20 times more than you currently were. So you've got to be ready to do whatever it is. Buying the dirt in its rawest form and turning it into something that you want, like, you know, that's going to be the best play.
Yeah.
Is it something where, you know, there's development near the area? Like, do I have to go across that road right there to hook up to power, water, et cetera, and so forth? Or do I have to go 10 or 15 miles? Like,
Mhm.
you know, I got 320 acres right here in early Mark, California. It's going to cost $15 million just to bring the water to that dirt.
Yeah.
You got to understand what the costs involved are. And just
Yeah.
because somebody wants what somebody wants for it doesn't mean that's what the land is worth. The land is worth what a buyer's willing to pay for it. What can I do with it? What's its highest and best use? Can I turn it into a storage facility? And did I hear a railroad track in there somewhere? Did you tell me
I'm not
something about a
sure.
railroad track dividing the property?
Yeah.
you hear us,
So there's
Roland?
5 and then 4 right after.
So there is a railroad track.
Yes, in between the 5 and the 4.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Do you want to live near a railroad track?
Good question.
Well, I'm just
Probably
saying,
not.
like, just think it out. Like, nobody wants to go. Like, if you could raise your hand and pick anywhere in the world, I want to live on a beach. I want to live in the mountains. I want to live in a city. I want to live in a piece of dirt that vibrates my entire house a couple of times a day because I want to be by a railroad track. Nobody wants to live by the railroad track. It does not increase the value of the property. So that's a problem. And there's got to be an easement of some nature running through the middle of that property. Now, could that piece of dirt work for a storage facility? Could. Do I have a buyer in my pocket that would be interested? Potentially. Is this in Texas?
Yeah, it's in the same county right there in Harlingen.
Okay.
And she
Esteban,
lives in
are you looking at it?
Yeah, I'm looking at it. I was talking.
Fort Worth, the loop, and all that shit that you guys talk about.
I know, man. We're galaxies apart, dude.
Yeah. So, yeah, it doesn't sound like something that is a desirable piece of land. And if it was, you know, she wouldn't be trying to sell it.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. So, look, me personally, I mean, there's good money in land. I've never done land. I think what is it, Lance, the one that's in the sub 2 vault that buys land, John.
Well, you got Jeff Smith, you got Matt Rogers. Matt Rogers buys infill, meaning like house, vacant land, house. He'll put something there. He does single lots. Yeah. Jeff Smith is going to do something with development, but that specific location is not conducive for
Yeah.
a residential location. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Yeah, they
Not
typically buy land. I mean, dude, what's your goal? I know you're trying to arbitrage your time because like you work and stuff. So I suppose when you're off work or driving to work, you kind of just scope around, right?
Yeah.
You man, dude, you should be focusing on I would be focused on low equity leads.
Yeah.
Do you have access to PropStream?
I have batch leads and PropWire right now.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you exactly what you're gonna do, bro. I mean, do you know how to talk to? It sounds like you've had some potential leads, so that tells me. I mean, you've at least had the courage to speak on the phone. How are your skills in general, like just talking to agents and sellers?
Pretty good, and I'm actually trying to transition more into like the subject too from the wholesale, especially like right now. So that's what I'm trying to learn more in the subject too, which I feel like I have it pretty down pretty good. I mean, I've had 2 or 3 entertained already by the offers that I've talked to. The first 3 actually about it. So, I do feel confident about it, especially in the wholesale too. I mean, I've been doing wholesale first before this, right? So I guess that's where the confidence kind of came in, talking on the phone.
Yeah.
And, just understanding the whole subject to deal first before I was pitching it. So
Gotcha.
I think that's what I'm going to start focusing on too.
Yeah.
If I can just find more buyers first, and as well as like, I got you guys, someone in San Antonio right now. Not too many investors here in the area kind of like it. They just want to just buy it cash if they can.
Well,
I do
I have a
one
couple buyers down here in the valley. I mean, this is where I started down in the valley. I have a lot of buyers that will buy on subject to. So this is exactly what I would do, right? So on batch leads and PropWire, you're gonna go and look for pick a zip code.
It was 78550 or 78552.
So it's of course down here in the valley, the population is not as big as like San Antonio, Dallas, or stuff like that. So if you try using the following filters by a single zip code, you might get no results because it is a very, very specific criteria. So maybe I would try a city or a county. So imagine you're a car sales guy, right? You have access on your computer to all the cars in the country. And I say, hey, I'm looking for a white car, right? There's like millions of them, right? You're going to probably want to slap me like, you're serious? Now, if I was more a little more specific, hey, I'm looking for a white Toyota, that helps, but still vague, right? Now, you could further refine it, and I could tell you the build year, the model I want, black seats, limited edition, whatever. So same thing when you're looking for leads on PropStream, batch leads, PropWire. When you're looking up addresses, if you just like use one filter like high equity or absentee owner, you're gonna get bad data. So it's usually best to stack filters to pick a couple filters, usually 2 or more, to get better data. So for the low equity, what you want to do is look for stuff that's a 2019 built year minimum, on market, 3-year max ownership, 85% loan to value. So basically, if all these houses that pop up are going to be on market, it's going to be a very low amount. These people have little to no equity, and in best case scenario, like they have to pay out of pocket, or the house has been listed on market, or they have no wiggle room. So you basically call them up. You already know why the property hasn't sold, right? So it's just a matter of building a rapport with the agent, figuring out the story. And once you figure out the story, then you basically throw in the cash offer and say, hey, look, we buy properties different ways. I can buy this cash. But, because the interest rates are really high right now, and we typically refinance with an investor loan, I have to be significantly lower than the asking price. Like, does your seller have any wiggle room here? Now, you already know that they don't because it's low equity, meaning like they owe very close to what it's worth, right?
Yeah.
So that's there, you just say, hey, well, I got another idea. What if we just take over their mortgage balance, right? Cash them out on the equity, and then we cover all closing costs. and you know the agent's commission, you think they'd be open to it, and then that's kind of how you open the conversation. You know, it's pretty simple, right? You don't have to say all finance and subject to and this and that. You just say, hey, what if we take over payments? Like, it's pretty simple. So
Yeah.
the point of the live is like, you know, John and I, we're just banging phones. I just fired 2 of my VAs because they were slacking. So I just hopped on. I started hopping on the live with John. We've been calling agents and sellers. We got 2 under contract a week and a half ago on the live. So if you ever want to hop on the live and you want to hear us call sellers, like just jump in. You can come in or out, but we're just trying to get leads, right? Yeah, getting leads. The tedious part is having that original conversation, that first conversation with the seller or the agent, right? But basically, in that first conversation, you need to figure out like why are they selling? Because not everyone who sells is gonna be a best fit for us, right? For example, like let's say that person that's selling the lot, like they want absolute top dollar, then their best bet is gonna be a developer, right? Developer buying it, not someone that wants to buy on seller finance with 10% down or less, right? So I like with these specific filters, these people are perfect for creative finance or subject to, and in between those filters, you find people that have a lot of problems, like divorce situations. They can't keep up with the payments. They fell behind on payments. They need to pay like $8,000 to sell the property, and they're barely making it by. So these are the perfect leads to call. Or you could do high equity absentee owner with a tax lien. Those have worked pretty good for me in the past for wholesale. But other than that, like for me, that's been working great. And in the Valley, I mainly just do creative finance. It's really hard to find good cash deals because it's so diverse. I mean, look at Harlingen, has a nice area, and then it has like a complete ghetto area. And you can have a house in the ghetto, that you can buy 10 cents on the dollar, and maybe no one's going to want to touch it, right? Because like you still have to think also like the target audience. So I'm usually very specific with like where I the types of properties I go for, because I know I have my buyers, they will buy that,
Yeah.
So I stick to just that.
Yep. Same.
Let's see here. Elizabeth, where do we sign up to receive that spreadsheet you showed us earlier? Oh, the Google Sheets. Yeah, give me 1 second. Yeah, and then so basically what I did is we're just going to be going live a couple days a week, and then we're just calling people up. We'll JV with anybody. We'll help dispo deals as long as the numbers make sense, and if they don't, we can go back and renegotiate. So like if you have any leads or any buddies that locked up something that's way too high, throw them to John. John loves talking to red sellers, as you haven't told. He's a toxic male.
Me. Guilty as charged.
Yeah, he loves talking to agents and sellers, and I mean, you don't seem like you're scared to talk to agents, but I mean, some people are. Like worst case scenario, they tell you to F off or whatever. John just calls them right back up. So
Yeah.
And then if we mess it up, right, we can play the victim. You play a nice guy or whatever, and that's how it works.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I was against kind of like dealing with agents at first. When I first started wholesaling, like, no, I don't deal with agents. It's just me and the buyer. And, recently I just changed my whole perspective. Like, no, I need to start engaging more with the agents because I got more cash buyers as well. So I started reaching out to more started reaching out to me for multifamilies. I have buyers for multifamilies here in the Valley too. So
Nice.
that was one thing. Yeah.
Yeah, so down here in the Valley, I'm looking for multifamilies, like any duplex, triplex. I would love to buy. Also can set them up as an assisted living. So moving into early next year, that's what I'm focused on. Over here, and there's going to be a ton of opportunities for just subject to and creative finance. Even in SPI, I mean, I've been talking with this guy back and forth it's a low equity, and he's already $60,000 below what the property's worth because he put into the property.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been going back and forth, just negotiating the monthly payment on it. But so many opportunities.
Definitely. Well, there's There's that duplex. Remember that was on Kennedy that I had sent you. I mean, it was kind of overpriced. I felt too as well. I don't know what you thought about that one.
Yeah, let me actually. I'm gonna pull that up here. Let me. I'm sending a link to Elizabeth. I'm sending you the link for the Jot form. That's so you can sign up for the free calculator. Let me pull it up. So
I got
this
dudes
one's the
hitting me
one.
up on Facebook with, "Hey, send me this, that, and the other thing." I got other dudes like, "Are you direct to seller? Are you direct to agent? Like, bro, you want to buy a deal or you want to talk to me about real estate? Like, what are we doing? That's what we're on this for. On the live.
He wants to mentally masturbate with you.
That's all they ever want to do. Well, what if?
Okay. Is this the one on Kennedy, bro, or no?
Yeah, that's the one on Kennedy. Yep.
Okay.
20,
So it's
21, 21.
So on Zillow it shows it's a 4-2, and you said is it like divided? It's an actual duplex.
Yeah, it's an actual duplex. Yeah.
Okay. Origin, Texas. It's a 4-2. Is it vacant or occupied?
One of the sides was vacant when I had approached the person on the market on Facebook Market, and I think they had just got it rented out a couple of weeks ago from what I seen.
Do you remember what the rents were?
What happened? You
I'm
broke up.
looking. Do you know what the rents in the area are?
Yeah, well, he's running it at 950, which I think is pretty low.
Yeah, I mean it's a 2-1. Let me see where this is by. Yeah, anything in the valley, I'd probably buy. Yeah,
right there on the loop, not too far from the airport as well. Right by the expressway.
Yeah. Let me see here. I'm not sure why I put it on Google Earth and it's popping up like a bunch of housing authority neighborhood details. So okay, let me see here. Avondale. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, I see. What you mean by the loop?
Yep.
It's kind of like going towards Combs.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I know where this is at.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he's living in Dallas and managing it from up there. So was he originally from the valley, or how did he end up over there?
I think he was originally from the valley, and then I'm assuming I think he moved years ago. I had only been messaging him through message for a little while, and then I had stopped being in connection with him. I was waiting for an answer back from you and another person on this subject too. After y'all ran some numbers.
Okay, so he's asking so it got appraised at 250 last year. Oh,
yeah,
he refinanced last year.
Yeah, and they appraised it, I guess, at 250. He owes 122 still. Interest is 6.125, and he says that his payment went up to 1621, but he found some new insurance that he was gonna get, and it was gonna go down to about 13 and some change.
Okay, so on this one, you said the purchase price is 80,000. Am I seeing that right?
Let me see.
On this one, it says purchase price 80K. I think you can rent it out for 1,600. No.
Oh no, that was for 1206. Sorry.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. So asking 250, wants to try to walk away with 125. So, and then the mortgage balance on this is
122.
122. Let's see here. The thing though is, I mean,
the roof.
So he's asking, so needs a roof. He's asking over Zillow.
Needs a roof, yeah.
It's a 2007 built year, so it's gonna need. When was the last? Has there been any renovations done on this thing?
and I don't think he's put any renovations in it.
Okay. Let me. I mean, do you want me to call this guy up, see what I can negotiate, or figure out some more info?
Yeah, yeah, you can. You can. Let me send you his number.
I got it, Jose Torres.
I forgot I had sent it to you.
Yeah, it's a voicemail. Let me call again. Call him twice. Yeah, I have a cash buyer for this, but not at 220. Then I could take this down if he's open to creative.
Tell him to mute you.
What's your guys' opinion for emails to send to agents? I actually created a pretty cool, simple Google Sheets. I'll share here on the live for you to download. And it basically just explains creative finance or subject to agents. So typically, I mean, you still want to speak to agents before you send this out. You don't want to just cold email. You want to build rapport with the agent. And then usually, I say, once I get off the phone with them, or before I conclude, rather, I say, hey, I'm going to send you an email that explains how it works. So basically, that's what I created. So I'll go ahead and share it here in a second. Let me call this guy one last time and leave a voicemail while I pull that up. Oh, it's a personal email. It doesn't matter, to be honest. It doesn't matter. I mean, if you can set up a professional domain, you can get one for a couple bucks. Like go to Google Workspace, Wix, Carrot. You can make a domain for a couple bucks and use that for an email. But if you don't have the money or the time, it's really not a big deal. Hey, Josue, this is Esteban. I was calling in regards to your property over on Kennedy Avenue. Give me a call back when you get a chance. My phone number is 956-382-4168. Thank you. So I'll probably call him back later this evening. He doesn't answer. John, you got anything going on? I keep forgetting I have that wrap property for the wrap I'm trying to dispel. That's what I was working on. I'm going to send this to my VA. What? It's listed under affordable. Oh, I see what he did. Smart man. Okay. Let me. Do you still want that Google Sheets to send the FAQ to agents, Eluseth? Eric, create me a Canva post for this property. I'm trying to find rat bar. So Jesus Christ. Purchase price $290. It's not a bad deal. So so you work full time doing that windmill stuff?
What'd you say, Esteban? You're cutting off a little bit.
Do you do that full time? Like with the windmills?
Yeah, yeah.
Just that's cool, man. How'd you get into that? I'm just curious.
Uh, about 8 years, a little over 8.5 years ago, I got into it. I had some family that lives in Colorado. I was doing like some oil field work before that. I had a cousin that was working at a motel. And they had came through, had asked him if he wanted to work for them. He decided no. He had an application there. I filled it out, went to take it in, and then got hired like month and some later on. So been in it ever
Nice.
since.
Do you just work in Texas or like do you travel all over the country for that?
Yeah. So before, I mean, I was traveling like a lot, and then I try to just minimize it to Texas, so I can be around the family a lot more, be able to drive home on the weekends and things like that. But once comes like the winter time, they have more projects up north that they just try to wrap up before the end of the year. So everything in Texas just had finished. So now we came up here to help wrap up this site.
Nice. So you say you're up in Dallas? Or where are you
Wyoming.
at right now? Oh, that's right, Wyoming. That's because John mentioned Dallas, Fort Worth. He said how close that was to the other property, so I got confused. Wyoming, okay. That's cool, man. That's awesome. What cash on cash
On lag.
return do you? Yeah. What cash? What cash on cash return do you try to achieve when structuring a seller finance deal to wholesale for top dollar, assuming the property is free and clear? That's a good question. So, a lot to digest there. So, typically, we want to buy a property at like 10% all in entry costs. Obviously, that is not always the case. You want to get into the property with little to no money out of pocket. That is a goal. So typically for every 10K of an entry towards the entry cost, you need to see $100 in cash flow. So if let's say it's $20,000 to get into the property, that includes, acquisition costs, which is your assignment fee, agent's commissions, closing costs, holding costs, which is 3 months of the monthly payment, renovations of any arrears or liens, marketing costs. So when you add all those 7, you need it to be about 10%. And then for every 10K, $100 in cash flow. So if it's a $30,000 entry cost, then need to see a minimum $300 cash flow, maybe even $200 is pretty good. So it needs to cash flow as a long-term rental at least 12% cash on cash return. Obviously, the higher the better. And then as a short-term rental, it should cash flow 20 plus. And just anything 12% or higher is pretty worth it. In other bigger markets, more competitive markets, maybe like in Florida or California, that might not be the case. But if you want to be able to disposition a property pretty quick, you want to stay within those parameters. Are you on the phone, John? I think John's on the phone. Hopefully that answers your question. And then I believe it's you can assign it for it's $2,000 for every $100 in cash flow, if I'm not mistaken. Cool. So hey, I'm gonna show you actually, Roland. Look on PropStream. So
Yeah.
I'll show you my end. Let me pull this screen up here. I don't want to show that. That's we go to Privy. All right. So you go to PropStream, and then like the day before yesterday, I was live. I did this in the live, and I called this agent in Waco, and I'm working on a potential deal, seller finance in Waco. So this is a really good list. So you just pick a market. Try to pick like a big market. Don't put like a small city. Let's do let's see
Yeah.
what we find in Harlingen actually. Go to the filter tab, property characteristics, minimum build to. Let's do a 2019. MLS status, you can do active and pending. Days on market, leave that empty. Ownership information, 3-year max. Equity, or is it loan to value, 85%. So there's 8 properties right now. And I'm pretty sure my team has already called these, but all these properties are low equity. So like this one, for example, in Palm Valley Circle. Oh, this is a pretty big house. Let's look this one up. And what I like, you can just put the address. You can just put the address on Zillow. So see, this had a $20,000 price cut. This isn't the one you were talking about. You haven't sent me this one, have you?
What? No, I don't think so.
So it's a giant house sitting on
What street is that on?
Palm Valley Circle.
No, that's a good area too, though.
Yeah.
Palm Valley's right there, right by Wilson.
Yeah. So
that's a good area.
They're asking more than the Zestimate. I already know why. It's because it's a low equity. 28 days on Zillow, has a lot of views, very little saves. And then basically here on PropStream, it shows it has an estimated balance of $297,579. So this one they do have some equity. I usually look at the estimated balance. I don't look at the equity on Batch or Prop because it's not always the most accurate. So the way you get the equity, obviously, you just comp it. This house is such a luxury property; they're typically a lot harder to comp. Let me see if I can pull it up on Privy. But yeah, if you pick those filters, dude, you should be putting in like I'd say at least 5 offers a day. Like you'll get it for like you'll in less than a month.
Yeah.
And if you don't have the time, then you can just hire a VA, couple bucks, pay them a couple bucks an hour. There's so many. You just got to make sure they come trained. So
okay. And where do you find those? Where do you get or where do you hire those VAs at?
Dude, there's a lot. I don't want to personally recommend any on the live. I'll talk to you outside the live.
Yeah, for sure.
But I mean, there are some good companies out there. There's some good companies. A good one I've used is VA Temp. I like the way they have their operation. They actually set up a call with you, see like what you're looking to accomplish. It's basically like they interview you, and then they're like, "Hey, well, these are all the VAs we have." They give you a list of the people they have. And then they send you an audio recording of how they sound. I think that's always very important. The people in the Philippines going to be a lot less expensive. You have some obviously that have an accent, and ultimately some people are just they don't like speaking to people in the Philippines. I've had some good VAs in the Philippines. Some they just talk too much. Like, who do you have cell phone service with?
Verizon.
Well, I'm not cool like you, but I got T-Mobile, dude. And whenever I call T-Mobile for a problem, they transfer me to a VA, right, in the Philippines. And I'm like, let's just say I'm having issues with my service. I'm like, oh, how can I help you? And they say, hey, I'm having trouble with my service. And be like, oh, I'm sorry, sir. Don't worry. I'm sure this is very frustrating, but I'm going to do my very best to make sure that you get the best service. And like, they just talk too much. So you want to stay away from those. That's why I don't like using the people in the
Yeah.
Philippines. There are some really good ones. Colombians, Venezuelans, Egyptians are the best. AK cold callers, haven't used them, but I've heard good feedback from them. So just make sure that like if they're sending you VAs, like you're just like listening to how they sound.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely don't want them just rambling on and then boring out the seller.
Basically, yeah, basically.
Gotcha.
But I mean, like once you close your first deal, like you can basically just take that like formula and then just give it to them, right? So you can hire a VA, like one VA to pull these kind of leads for you, and then they can just
Mm-hmm.
set up an appointment for you to call, or you could really just have them like just manage the whole operation, but you do have to train them. With AK cold callers, like they just manage all the VAs for you, but they
All
only
right, I'm
do.
back.
Uh-huh.
Hello.
Got it.
Sorry
Yeah,
if
hello?
I'm hopping in. I was just on the other line with a sub 2 student, I think, basically chastising me about how to do real estate. And hey, well, why is that a deal? Like you said, you're a closer. Like, why are you pushing these? Well, I didn't close those deals. I'm just trying to move them. But we had a nice little conversation, and we understand one another. So there's that. But yeah, it's difficult to move deals, especially this one that you brought us that we haven't talked to the seller yet. 6.125%. A lot of people are going to try to spit the bit on that one just based on the interest rate. And if they try to, the other thing too is if those sellers that are getting a divorce are trying to sell that deal on the open market because they haven't owned it for 2 years, that's going to be a capital gains issue too, I would assume.
Yeah. Yep.
So there's a lot of downside, but that guy has not called me back yet. So
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for the duplex, I called 3 times, left a voicemail, no answer. So yeah, dude, Roland, that's what I would focus on, dude. I would focus on the low equity; those are the best, and then just stuff that's free and clear, like a 20-year max ownership. You'll find a lot of unfortunately elderly people in the 60s, 70s above that are getting to that age where they have like Alzheimer's, dementia, kids moved out, college, and so those are pretty good for cash wholesale deals.
Yep. Yep.
So yeah, I mean, if you don't want to be paying for data, like I said, like when I started, I did have money, but I didn't want to put money into something I was just getting into. So if you're like me, right, you could just go to PropStream or Batch, pull a low equity, and then you can just look up, they're low equity on market, 3-year max ownership, 85% LTV, and then you just get that address, you put it on Zillow because they're on market, and on Zillow you just call the agent, right? And if it's been listed for like 100 plus days or whatever, the agent doesn't answer, they just call the seller up, right? So that's what we'll be doing.
Sure.
We don't have any leads to call.
Remember
PropWire,
about PropWire. PropWire is completely free. You can pull a list on there for free. You just got to skip trace it.
Yeah, I just gotta skip trace it. Yeah.
Yeah. Felix, do you also search counties that will also capture towns within close proximities to major markets? A lot of big words there. I mean, so you can pull leads like many different ways. I typically don't pull from the county. I know a lot of people do. They get like water shut-off lists, pre-foreclosures, auctions, like all that stuff. I usually like to stick to low equity and equity. Basically, what I told Roland, and also just high equity absentee owners. Those are the best for wholesale deals. You have like so many different niches. Those have been the ones that have worked the best for me. And there's many ways to pull leads. Another thing you could do, this is how I first started, is just pick a market. Pick a market, look at all the active cash buyers, the way I showed earlier in the live. Get their information, call them up, get their buy box, and then just go to Facebook groups and say, hey, I have a buyer and 123 looking for XYZ. Like, it's literally that simple, right? You can
Mhm.
also get expired listings from agents. Obviously, you got to have a good rapport with the agent, but that's another way to get leads. Um, yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of ways. I haven't gone to the county. I'm actually working on a data scrubber, so it's going to be pulling data from the MLS, from Zillow, from different counties, and so basically I'll be able to pull all the information, any price drops, expireds, on market, pre foreclosures, foreclosures before before it hits like PropStream or Batchly, because these are third party platforms, and usually the data is not that accurate. Any other questions? What are you doing? What's your week look like next week, Roland? You should jump on the phones with us.
Well, sure you
Yeah.
should reach out
Just
to the guy that you sent us. Like, let's get that dude on the phone, and then we're gonna have to call the wife. They're either gonna have to be on the same page, or we need to push back because there's plenty of deals out there to be chasing bullshit. Just going to be a lot of baby
yep,
mama
yep,
drama involved. I can already see it.
yep. And this guy, he's a little nuts. He was in the army for a long time, came back. Now he's having this divorce problem, so he's having a little mental issue, I believe. A
Oh
little
man,
hard time. So
yeah. I mean, that's what I would do, bro. I mean, look, there's so many ways to learn. There's like all this like information. There's courses like, but what matters is like you're getting deals done, right? Obviously, you're working. I don't know what your situation is. I'm sure you make good money. So if you want to just make like side money or like whatever, I would just pull up those
Mhm.
leads and on your free time, just call up the agents, try to build up a rapport, qualify the leads if they're good or not, and then you can send them our way. We'll close them on the live, all that. Obviously, we won't share the address, and then we can we typically just do 50-50. Whatever you need help with. I'd rather do stuff in bulks, in bulks than to be
Oh
greedy.
yeah,
We have all the
yeah, exactly.
contracts, and just to be quite honest with you, you don't need Paces contracts to lock up deals, but we typically, like sub-2 students, will not buy a property unless you've used Paces contracts. So it kind of puts you like in a corner. Um, but you can always just hire a TC or an attorney to draft up the paperwork. If you don't want to go through all that, just JV with like a sub-2 student or someone that's done this before. But there's a lot of opportunities down in the valley. I have a team in place in the valley. I have contractors. I have a lender in place. I have builders. I have all that. But for me, I'm strictly only focusing on creative. I don't want to be focusing on too many things. Starting next year,
Yeah.
I'll be focusing a little bit more on multifamily and stuff like that, like smaller multifamily. Because I would rather have, say, one multifamily, like a duplex or a triplex, instead of having 4 different properties. It's just easier to manage.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna start doing that. I guess I was starting off on the wholesale first, and then once I start getting into the whole creative side,
Well,
especially in this time of year, this market shift, I feel like it's gonna be great.
yeah. Well, it's just good to know because you just add like another tool to your tool belt. It's like
Exactly. Yeah.
you have a seller, they're selling for a reason, right? It's like they're like a screw, right? It could be their heads, a Phillips, and then you got those little weird entrances, a hexagon shape. So in a sense, like every seller has a shape, right? They're like a tool. You just got to find the right one. So like when you're talking to a seller, everyone's so quick just to go to like a wholesale offer, pennies on a dollar, or just pitch creative when they haven't even built rapport. you can basically help anyone. Like if somebody wants to sell retail, right, then you can also do like a novation, right, where just lock it up on a land contract, bring the money to the table, all right, and then they get their asking price at the end of the sell. There's a little bit more to it, but that's why you want to ask all the right questions. And then once you ask the questions and you know why they're selling, then you're going to know, okay, they need all their money up front or they don't.
Yeah.
Like me personally, like my past
Yeah.
deals from last month, from pulling this list, I had a lady who was going through a divorce situation because her husband got caught cheating. She couldn't keep up with the payments. She was behind like 2 months and she had to pay out of pocket. She was a stay-at-home mom. She moved all the way to El Paso, from the San Antonio to El Paso to live with her mom, couldn't keep up with the payments. And she didn't really need any money in her pocket, but she was trying to get out of her mom's house. So structured the deal, put some money in her pocket, covered the closing costs, agent's commission. I think it was like 15, 18,000. I only made like 5K off of that, but I was able to help them out when other wholesalers were not, because they were offering 60 cents on the dollar, and that didn't make sense. When she still owed like 95% of the loan. And then the agent couldn't help out because she wasn't even motivated because she wasn't going to make any money off the sell. So had I gone with the mentality where like trying to wholesale this, then I probably would have been narrow-minded and I would have missed that opportunity. So like just to make sure you're like approaching things like a bird's eye view, and then once you know like why they're selling, what the problem is, then you know if you can help and how you can help. But yeah, not everyone you talk to will be a lead.
Yeah, that's right. Cool. What I really want to get into also is learning the novation thing also.
Yeah, I mean, there's honestly, there's really not much to it. You're just like, you just got to make sure there's enough wiggle room, or spread on the property, right? So typically novations. John, you done any novations?
I have not. Like everybody's definition of a novation is different. We're trying to work on a couple last month. Came across a dude that I believe he's a sub-2 student. Allegedly, he quote invented the novation. But I had an Astro student reach out to me, and he was pitching a novation. He's never even done a deal before, and I'm like, bro, this is not a deal. So Eric Brewer is a guy, and then Novation King, Rich Wonders. He's a guy that's on YouTube. You can go to novationking.com. You can JV with them. Some people's definition of a novation is essentially they're going to go and put some money into the property and then resell it on the MLS. Does not do the novation contracts anymore. He suggests that we take the property down subject to. You could also do like a lease option where you've got a lease option, you're renting that thing out, right? You're making whatever repairs, et cetera, and so forth. Then you exercise your lease option when you put that thing on the market. That gives you the direct control to say yay or nay about whatever, offers and whatnot are coming in. There's a lot of minutia there. It just kind of depends on what your definition of a novation is. Some people use it as to put houses on the MLS and act like a real estate agent, essentially, without being a real estate agent. I don't know. It's something that I'm trying to get a grasp on, because you got a low ball cash offer here. You got what the seller usually wants, and that's full retail and whatnot. If they won't accept the low cash offer and they won't do a sub-2, the money in the middle between the ARV and where they're at, like you could carve out some money for yourself. I'm currently working on some stuff for that, for lack of a better term. It is one thing that I have never done, but yes, it is something that, depending on who you talk to, they have a different strategy for that. My definition originally was, hey, I'm going to come in, I can give you X amount of dollars, pour some money into this thing, because obviously this, and this need to get done. So there are companies out there that allegedly do this kind of stuff. Again, I'm a broker. So, like, there are companies out there that revive and stuff like that that'll come in, they'll inject their capital into the deal. And then when the deal sells, they pull their capital back out. They're basically making money off it's essentially a lead to them because they're selling that to a general contractor or a handyman, whatever the hell it is. Those are the guys.
Mhm.
Hey, here's a $20,000 job. And then essentially the company maybe charges them, 10, 20% or whatever, and claws some of that money back. But nobody gets paid until they close at escrow.
Yeah.
I got this cat meowing. Let me go grab this cat and chuck it outside. I'll be right back.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, dude, there's many ways, so that's why it's just good to be like well versed on all the strategies, or at least kind of have an idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I've had a lot of wholesalers where like I'll give you another example. I was working with this group, Astro flipping students, and they brought me this lead where they told me the seller was asking too much, and that's all they told me. And it was true, he was asking too much, but they didn't bother to find out why, right? So I think he owed like 315 on the property, and it was worth like 330. So he was trying to list it for 360 because when he bought it, he had put some money into it, like upgraded the floors and did some upgrades on it. So basically, I think he got someone's calling me from Montana. He listed the house on market with an agent, and it wasn't selling, so they did a price drop, right? Price drop. Took it off market, relisted it, price drop, tried to rent it, and then took it off market. So for me, just by looking at the price history, I was able to paint a picture before I even called the guy. So when I spoke to him, found out that he got a pay cut at work, and basically he wasn't having much money left with his paycheck, so he wanted to sell his house so he could move into a double wide trailer, and he just wanted to get his money back, right? So
Right.
he needed $20,000 to buy a mobile wide trailer, right? So basically that's how we kind of structured the deal based off of around that. But because those wholesalers didn't bother to ask that they didn't know. They were like, oh, this person, they're asking too much, right? And that was a lead they lost, right? So kind of the same thing with like
Yeah.
sellers is like you want to make sure you're asking all the questions. It's just like you're just having a regular conversation, just like you and I. I don't know why some people, when they talk to
Yeah.
agents or sellers, they like change their voice or they put a customer service voice, like, oh, I'm calling from ABC Investments, and I'm the acquisition. Like, you don't gotta say all that. It's just like, hey, I'm interested in buying a property. Like, it's that simple, Um,
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
so yeah, and I mean, and then you'll
Yeah.
see on the live too. I mean, John and I have just two different types of styles. Everyone has different styles, and whatever works, dude. But yeah, you gotta make sure that you're building that
Yeah.
rapport, and then once you build that rapport, then
Yeah. Yeah.
you have just a better outcome.
Yeah, for sure. And I think my whole purpose right now is just trying to assign some properties, get some more cash in my pocket eventually. Put one on my portfolio, Uh, I want to be able to get as much as creative financing solutions in my belt,
Yeah, man.
so I can have a solution
Well,
for everybody, or to a problem.
well, you came
Everybody's problem is different.
you came to the right place. I mean, I won't ask you for money, and I have nothing to sell you in this live. I mean, we're live calling. Also, I have lenders. I've lent on some properties. I helped a friend, do their first PML deal through a sub-2 student. By the way, don't ever wire money to anyone directly. But yeah, no, anything you need help with, I mean, we're here. But yeah, if we don't have any leads or anything like that, I'm just probably going to hop off and try to get some stuff lined up for tomorrow. What do you think, John?
Yeah, I don't have any in my neck of the woods. Let me refresh investor list. Nobody.
I've been pitching Dorothy's property but I haven't had that much interest. We could try
No.
just locking it up. We could try locking it up and just, doing some kind of option fee on it and just try to blast it on InvestorLift or something. Just put it like $100 EMD.
Well, I mean,
But otherwise,
you're going to have to get access to it. Like, you don't know if the Taliban's
Yeah.
in town. Like, it's basically a shit show. And she's basically living in it. So, whoever goes over there is going to have to deal with her crazy ass.
yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. I'll
Cool.
send a message to Jeremy. Let him know that you give him a ring 2 or 3 times, and if he can give you a call back, it'd be great. If you do,
Yeah, he can call John too. John, you want to give Roland your number? I like this guy, man. I want to do a deal with him.
I left him that Texas number. So let's see what the Texas number
No,
is.
for Roland, so he can submit you leads and stuff.
Oh, yeah, you can have my regular cell. You got a pen?
yeah,
All right.
ready.
Can he see it? Okay. 559-708-6460.
Okay, cool.
That's my direct.
559-708-6460.
Yep.
Okay, sounds good. Appreciate it, John.
Yep.
Yeah, so anything you need, like I said, if you
Okay.
have a lead, just make sure you're qualifying them, and we'll help out. You have my number, you have John's number, so if you got a lead, need it locked up, let me know, and let me know when that guy answers. I'll gladly hop on the phone.
Sounds good. Sounds good. I'll keep you guys updated.
Cool. All right, Roland. Later.
All right.
Thank you, Felix. Thanks for all the
Later, man. I'll
comments.
talk to you.
Later.
Yes, sir.
All right. Later, John.
All right. Later.